Hey, what's up, Komo-san?
Evening.
How y'all doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, living the dream.
Did you watch Fantastic Four?
I did. I did.
How did you find? I haven't watched it yet, but I know it's got good reviews.
It was solid.
Okay.
It wasn't, the best of any of them, but it wasn't. I enjoyed it.
Was it better than?
Oh, you cut out there.
Yeah. Was it better than whatever Captain America: Brave New World or Thunderbolts or?
I would say not better than Thunderbolts, uh,
Okay.
but but pretty close to being about as good. It was better than Brave New World. Brave New World had a lot of like they definitely. I mean, Brave New World wasn't bad. Like people are maybe hating on that one in the middle necessarily. Like, but they definitely
Yeah.
you could.
It wasn't awful, but it was pretty
Yeah,
mediocre. It was
yeah,
like I was
yeah.
alright. It was fine.
It was like it's like definitely what like I'll call like a setup film, like like a filler film. Like you need this plot line to go forward, and they like definitely drop shit that they shouldn't have dropped probably. But yeah, it was all right. But compared, I would say this is significantly an improvement over Brave New World.
All right. I'm looking forward to watching it. I've heard good things
Uh,
only.
we're not hearing you loud to it if you're talking to us.
I think he's also like fully muted in terms of he can't hear us.
Oh, okay. Good. There you go.
Perfect for the panel.
Yeah, exactly. Uh, hey, Lactoid.
What's up? How you doing?
What's up? Hey, what's going on with this beard now? What's going on?
It's getting pretty crazy, isn't it?
We need to talk about this.
Getting
He's
pretty...
going true socialist since he had that DSA meeting last week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but like, I don't. I think I have some notes. I'll send them to you later on in DMs. But
Yeah,
I don't know. Are you like going for like a mountain man type thing? Like
Oh, I have a Harley now. I have to fit the part.
mm,
oh my god.
And pretty soon, the traumatic brain injury with the reduced cognitive function will also follow
Yeah.
suit.
I wear a
That's
helmet.
part of
I
it.
wear a helmet. Don't worry about it.
And
Yeah.
that's definitely nothing goes wrong with a helmet ever. I'm
He
sure.
already has a taste with the road rash that he got at one time. You know, nothing says tough guy like losing a few layers of skin, right?
That's right.
I gotta go put my beard oil on. I'll be right back.
Oh my
that
god.
that he immediately lost man points. Yeah, I mean,
He's gonna apply it with a crystal too, no less. I'm
yeah.
sure.
Listen, real
Oh
men
yeah.
don't need no beard oil.
Is a beard oil any different from the essential oil? Is that what he's gonna put on?
I
Like
don't
the
fucking know.
essential
All I
oil?
know is mine is watered with the juices of panoche, and it keeps it nice and soft. But this guy worried about beard
Yeah.
oils.
Yeah. I'll take Gibbs' word for it. In fact, actually, for an Aiko, so I got hiccups now. Aiko will be here, and Aiko, I'm sure will have some very deep thoughts on beard care.
Watch, he'll
Um,
have shaved it since last week. He's now.
oh my god.
That'd be
Yeah.
hilarious if
I,
Lactoid's growing a full beard and Aiko just chooses to shave it all off.
yeah. Um. Uh. I've seen pictures. I mean, he's showing you guys like the pictures. When
Yeah.
he was before the beard. Like wow, it's like that's what's hidden under there. He's a handsome person, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, either way, he looks good, either with or without the beard. But like, it's a pretty stark transformation. But it's not like a downgrade or anything. It's just like,
God, I'm not big into beards. I'm not big into beards. It is a stark transformation. I'm just myself. I'm not big into beards. Um,
Women love
uh,
them.
I,
It's like
but
makeup
that's
for
fine.
men, bro. You can like go from looking like Bobby Hill to looking like a rugged, mountain man or something.
Bobby Hill.
Yeah, listen, nobody's trying to fuck Bobby Hill. I'll tell you that right now, bro.
Well, the new Futurama, sorry, the new King of the Hill is out.
That's what I hear.
Um, yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch it. I just saw that it was out today. And I wanted to check out the first episode. But I think Bobby actually someone might have actually fucked Bobby. He looks the same. He literally just drawn a larger version of what he
King
was
of the Hill?
previously. Yeah. King of the Hill.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's gonna be good. That was a great show, and I need them to do well with that one.
Yeah, I would like that too. I think Futurama had a pretty great run. I'm not sure if it's still happening, but like they brought
On Hulu?
back.
Yeah,
On
I
Hulu,
think
it's
still going,
just it's mid.
So there's Futurama. They brought Animaniacs back. I don't know how that did at all.
Really?
Yeah, they brought Animaniacs. The fact that you don't know is no part of the problem, I think. But Animaniacs was back for at least a hot minute. I'm not sure if it's still back. They've been bringing about a lot of things. In fact, actually, it's funny because I saw an article. It was on, I think it was on NBC News. I just read the title. I didn't dig in, right? So you can laugh at me for that. But like, it was saying, oh, actually, there's Aiko now. We can bring him in. Hey, Aiko, we were just talking about you, but we'll go to that in a second. But like, I saw an article talking about how millennial properties are coming back, in a big way, right? And all I can think about that for millennials is like, oh, that's not good for you. That means a 20-year cycle has just happened, right? Like you completed a 20-year cycle since you were a child, right? When these things were cool, and now they come like they all do, right? And so it was. I didn't read the arc. I wish I did now, because like now that I'm listing them for Ali, yeah, it's like there's a whole bunch of things that happen when millennials were children. Like they're back, like literally they're making remakes. Like they're like continuing the seasons. Like there was the 14th season of King of the Hill, apparently as the what's.
I mean, didn't they bring back Beavis and Butthead for a while too?
I might have missed that.
New seasons coming out too. I actually really
Yeah.
like Beavis and Butthead.
Okay, well that's more of a Gen X thing, I think. Beavis and Butthead.
But I mean, still, it's the past coming back.
I mean, but it's the same thing applies, right? Our 20-year cycle already happened for Gen X. But yeah, like it's like not great for millennials. That means you're fucking old. When Gen Z like gets its stuff like started remade, all the things that they love, right, starts to get remade. Like it'll be exciting at first, but it's like, oh, it's because you've got children and a mortgage. So this is your consolation prize. You can rewatch these things and feel like a kid when you're like literally breastfeeding a child. So just how it goes.
On the plus side, I think millennials are aging better than Gen Z from all the articles that I read.
That's the truest article BuzzFeed's ever put out. Okay. Truest TikTok ever posted, truest tweet ever said. Gen Z's aging like milk. It's horrible. It's
The
atrocious.
Gen Z stare as well. Can't forget that.
Oh, bro,
They're so
that's fair.
stupid they can't respond to normal conversation. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I saw
Oh.
someone trying to say that the other day that it wasn't because they were processing. They were saying, "Oh, it's because we'll look at people and we're just like, I can't believe they even are saying that, or the audacity." And like, I'm like, nah. I get the Gen Z stare. I'll be like, "Hey, I'll be at the grocery store. I'm like, hey, can you just hand me that thing in front of you real quick, or can I just sneak in?" They'll just be like,
No, they don't know what to say.
I'm
They
like,
don't know what to
bruh.
answer.
I'm like, bruh.
They
like,
want to take no accountability. Like you ask them if you give them an option of like them doing something or you doing it, and they feel like, oh, that's too much authority. Like it's too much to ask of me to like too much responsibility.
Well, and then they go, and this is my favorite, is they go, oh, well, it's because we live in this world and everything's so bad, and we just had these terrible life-changing things ever since we're born. I'm like, listen, I don't want to hear this bullshit. Like every generation's had that, but if any generation gets a bitch about that, some of my first memories, 5th grade, we're going around. I don't know my first memories, but I remember about 5th grade, 9/11. Internet happens. Now we're in the internet world where we have news all the time, 24-hour cycle. Like this is kind of a thing. Then the internet's kicking it up, and I'm like, every day it's a world-ending thing. Y2K, this thing. I was like, by the time I've hit 30, I hit fucking a world-ending event every other year, and now they're like, oh yeah, it's so bad. Oh, we just don't know what to do. I'm like, pussies.
Aiko.
Yeah.
What was it like when the Greatest Generations memes started coming back online? How was that for you?
The Generations memes? Didn't that happen
The
like in the
Greatest-
70s?
The Greatest Generation? Yeah. Well,
Like when
how was that for
Hogan's
you?
Heroes had to come back or something? I don't know.
I was calling you old. All right. Anyway.
Yeah.
moving on.
But what does annoy me about Gen Z? I'm curious if Aiko has any feelings about this. At least what I've noticed, and then this might just be, again, me being too old and just complaining about nothing. But at least my experience with Gen Z, especially when messaging them or whatnot, they type in all lowercase, like no matter what, and that just
I
annoys
think
the
Ico
hell out
deals
of
with
me.
Gen Alpha though. I mean, that's what.
Oh,
he was
dude,
teaching.
that was a millennial thing. That
Mm.
was
No, it's not.
yeah.
No.
I remember I had kids, and this was like as long ago as 20 years ago. Remark that when I was like, if I had these little group texts that I would do like with the debate teams and stuff, and they would start remarking that that I was typing in full sentences with punctuation.
Yeah,
But he actually had a point in
like-
when it comes to some things, like there's no need to put the period at the end, if it's a text, because obviously the text is ended, so you don't need the period, right? But I just do it out of habit.
but
Oh,
to me,
just me.
Like,
like there's definitely like obviously with texting and Blando growing up with texting, like yeah, the shorthand. But again, from what I notice, and I might just be noticing something, whatever, that's not actually there. But like Gen Z, like it's everything's like their name, like there's no capitalization of anything, no punctuation. Like it's like they're just everything's lowercase.
I noticed that with millennials like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like
not
teaching in the early
millennials hanging
2000s,
around then.
late 90s, yeah.
I text with millennials because I'm in that cohort, and that's not what I notice. But maybe
Yeah.
it's a regional thing.
Yeah, no, I noticed it. Yeah, it's at least a 30-year-old phenomenon. Well, 20-year-old phenomenon at this point.
The one that gets me is like I guess I didn't realize how streamer lingo has become so common. I was out with my friend Destiny the other night, and we were chilling, and she goes, "All right, chat," and I looked at her, I was like, "All right, chat," and she's like, "Yeah."
That's big. That's big in Gen Z.
Yeah.
And I was
Big in
like,
Gen Z.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I noticed that.
what
You can say
chat
that.
are you talking about? And she's like, I was like, are you streaming right now? Are you like making a TikTok? She's like, no,
The
no.
ethereal chat.
She's like talking. I'm talking to you and all these other people. I was like, let's go do this chat. I'm like, you don't ever stream ever. I'm like, she's like, yeah, you don't ever say chat. I'm kind of surprised you actually stream. I feel like that'd be natural. I'm like, yeah, because I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm like, we're out here touching grass. We're drinking. I'm not
Just
sitting
in the
here going,
lexicon.
yeah,
now.
I'm not over here just being like, hey, chat, what's going on? Like, when I say chat, I'm thinking there's a chat room. Y'all are over here like, no, chat. I'm like, oh, God, this is literally, maybe it's pet peeve, but that one literally pains me. And maybe it's because I am a content creator, I don't know.
Half the
It's
time
because
they
you're on
do
the
it
creator
in
end.
order
It's
to
you're a little
be-
bit older, so like the lingo isn't cool to you, right? Versus like being the on the other end, right? Like being the people who watch streams or right, like in Gen Z, like I work at a school.
It feels pick me. It's like very pick me energy.
No, it's just them as girls being like, I guess like, yeah, they are kind of being childish and like cute or whatever. But like I work at an elementary school and like the kids do that all the time. Like, hey chat, let's go do this. Hey chat. And they are either referencing like their friends or they're trying to get the attention of the other people in the class. And like, yeah, their friend group is chat.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the friend
crazy.
group now.
That's not a good. That can't be good. Like that, I don't know what that
I
means
mean,
for society. That
for
can't
them,
be good.
chat just means that you're talking to no one in particular.
Yeah.
You're talking to the group of people that's
Mhm.
near you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I
It's
can
gotta
see
do that.
why
it's
they
interesting.
make that jump. Yeah.
I mean, with
It's
with
annoying to me.
Skibbity Toilet being like the most revolutionary YouTube in like decades for these kids, like it's always going to be weird what the old like we're just the old generation now, right? We're looking at the kids and we're like, hey, your memes are like I was thinking about this the other day. I don't think Chopped and all the lingo is gonna like stand through the test of time in the same way that like our lingo stood through the test of time. I feel like calling something like, like based isn't going to necessarily based might be the only one that landed really well, but like, I don't know. I think they're going to look back and they might agree that their lingo was also stupid, but it is just like a consequence of us being old is we're looking at kids and we're judging what kids do.
People going, well, my generation.
Nothing will last like cool.
Things are
cool,
things are better. Like things all worse
Cool really
from the
did stand the test of time.
from the younger generation. Things were always better back in my day. Like I'm watching millennials do this, and it's like sad, right?
Well,
like,
but then you realize some things maybe objectively were, and then as you get older, you realize some of the things in your parents' day might have been better too, right?
I mean, some like back in your day, kids had respect. It's not the way it is.
I mean, because they don't catch whoopings anymore, bro.
That's right.
Shout out Admiral Gibbs.
Not enough whoopings, boys. That's the problem.
Shout out Admiral Gibbs.
Hey, listen, my
Corporal
students
punishment, baby.
now,
Yeah, bring
don't
that shit back.
remember a presidential election in which that didn't have Trump as the Republican nominee.
I mean,
That's the only Republican nominee they've ever heard of
yeah.
is Trump.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's their baseline for sanity moving forward,
Yeah.
basically.
That's the baseline for sanity. Yeah.
I mean, I
Um,
remember back in 2015, I remember Republicans telling me, don't judge us by Trump because, you know, he doesn't represent who we are. Okay. Like he's just some crazy guy who calls himself a Republican or whatever. 10 years later, there are
Yeah.
people who don't remember anybody but Trump as the nominee of the party. Like the contrast couldn't be greater.
Hey Corey, could you do me a favor and check out my Twitch channel, make sure things are going smooth? You know, I've been
Absolutely.
having trouble the last few weeks. I do appreciate.
Don't
you
remember
guys.
anybody but
Um,
Trump.
I
I'm
haven't
figuring out
seen
at
it.
all what the issue
Good
is
so far.
because
Thank you, Wick, for the raid. Much appreciated. I'm not sure when I came in. But thank you, Wick, for the raid. Hey, waiters, we're getting started in just a moment. Here. But hey, two things before we move on. One, Aiko, just very quickly
Yeah.
because we mentioned this previously. Hey, do you oil your beard? Is that a thing you do?
Not typically. I do have beard oil. I'll put it on sometimes, rarely, but
fail me, brother.
haven't.
Why?
Gibbs
You got to take care of that lustrous
Because-
mane.
yeah.
Men don't do that, and then
Ali does it, right? Ali.
1000%. I oil. Absolutely. I oil my
Oh,
head. My
okay.
head as well. What do you mean?
Okay,
I oil
Gibbs.
my head and I oil my beard.
No, it is-
My
it's
pubes?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to talk
Right?
about
Everyone oils their pubes, right?
that. Nah, nobody oils the
Right,
beard.
right.
That-
Everyone oils their pubes, right?
You
No?
actually
No?
like start losing inches on your dick every
No.
time you oil your beard. Like it's actually correlated. You lose an inch every
I mean,
time you put oil
I
in
could
your
stand to lose a few inches. It's fine.
beard. Nah, no,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just gotta
I
you
will
gotta
say
you
that
gotta,
once you do,
It'll
you just
be
gotta let the
safer
pussy
for his
juice.
wife.
You gotta let the pussy juice oil
True,
your beard,
like,
bro.
you
That's
know,
the secret.
I will
I don't want to
say that
scare her
once
every
you do,
time.
You start a clock, right? And now you've got to take a shower within the next 12 hours or
Okay.
something.
When
So,
you
like,
oil?
you know,
So
Nah,
it
I
doesn't-
just
yeah,
put the
ferment?
oil. I
or the
live
oil will
with it.
get old. Yeah, I mean, it gets
Okay.
rancid after a while.
Yeah,
It
well,
doesn't get rancid in 12 hours, but it gets kind of, I don't know, gunky
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stiff, and you got to do
Okay.
something about it.
All right. Well, now that we've answered that, apparently Gibbs is
Use
in the
better
minority
oil.
in terms
Yeah,
of.
I'm telling
how
you,
beard
there,
oil.
listen, my beard is luscious, and soft,
rosemary
and
oil.
succulent.
Rosemary oil is a good one.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
I'll try it.
Hmm.
Good to know. And then second, this is for Lactoid. Lactoid. Legal question. Asking for a
Yeah.
friend. At what point is a child considered kidnapped?
What have you done, Prime?
When they were
I haven't
plucked.
done
What
anything.
did you do,
When they get
Prime?
abducted.
Let's
So
start the timer.
So I ultimately, so the smartass answer that's actually the answer is whatever a jury thinks is kidnapping is going to be
Okay.
what's kidnapping.
okay.
For me, I think there's definitely a fuzzy line, and I can tell you like if something's like clearly on one side of it, right? The typical pull up in a van, grab the kid, drive off, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's situations where it's a little bit less clear, especially with like shared custody agreements, for example. Like
Mhm.
kidnapping can be really kind of unclear as to what actually is happening.
So, what started this was I saw a news video, like a local TV news thing, like yesterday or the day before, and there was a weird situation. There's like a lot of questions that were not answered in this clip. Like it raises so many questions. But okay, a child who is 12 years old disappears. Mother can't find her. Contacts the police. Right, lets them know child's gone. I think, and my understanding from the news clip is that she provided them like a photo description, all that stuff. Later on, they later on the cops are filmed, right, by a third bystander, just someone who's walking around. They're filmed doing a police stop. In this police stop, they encounter that child, right, in the back seat of these two adults, right? She's a white child, presumably. Yes, she's pretty much white. And at least the one female adult was black, and I don't know about the male adult because we didn't get to see him. But they're stopped in this traffic incident. They question them, and they search the car. They end up arresting the male adult because he has like a prior record and drug paraphernalia in the vehicle. Right? He goes to jail, or at least gets arrested. And the woman, they talk to her, but they end up letting her go because I guess they don't have anything specifically on her. They talk to the child. The child says she's 15, right? In their discussion, and then provides a false name. But they don't like, they see like right through that, and they just like, press her until like she provides the real name and all that. And then they're like, okay. And then they let them go. The adult woman and the child are gone, right? And so this is filmed. The bystander like looks online because I think the child like seems familiar to her. She looks online and then she finds, oh, this is the missing child, right? And then she reports that, which spawns this whole news cycle. And they find the girl eventually, right? So she's like found later on after this. But the cops had let her go, and like the big focus on why did the cops let her go, right? Like one, the child was lied about their identity. Two, it was very clear that she wasn't related to these individuals. Three, one of them was a felon with like drug paraphernalia in their car, right? But like they, in that moment, let them go, right? So anyway, but the child's fine apparently now. So in the comments, right? One, there's a lot of discussion as to, well, what was the child doing? It seems like my feeling is that the child willingly left, right? But that might not be the case. It could be like, hey, like we're about to get pulled over. If you say anything, we're gonna like hurt your mom. One of those types of situations that happens, right? But I don't know. And no one else really knew in the chat. But like, people are like, okay, well, this is kidnapping. But if this child willingly went into a car with these adults and they moved, and they took her somewhere, I don't know what they were doing with her. We have no idea what was happening with that, right? But they just were driving around. Is that in itself a kidnapping?
Probably not, but I actually don't know the answer to that question. My understanding is kidnapping has always required some like element of like direct force or like against the subject's will. And the question would be, well, if a child who normally doesn't have will, although I think that, you would probably get a charge of kidnapping of like the candy in the van and, hey, the kid wanted the candy. I don't think that would fly at court. So it's a tough question. I could see it. I could see it being kidnapping. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you, but it's tough.
So like, yeah. And I was thinking like, if I'm driving around and I see a child in distress side of the road, like, especially now I want to stick with teenagers because teenagers at least have, a bit of cognizance, right? About them, more agency than like, a younger kid, because that gets even dicier then. But like, like I find like a 13-year-old and they seem to be lost or in distress, and I stop and like, hey, are you okay? They're like, yeah, I can't get home or something. I'm trying to get home. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll give you a ride. Just give me your address and I'll take you home. Between when that child gets into my car and when I actually drop them off at their place, like if a cop stops me, like did I kidnap their child? Like I don't have permission from the parents to be transporting this child, right? They're not mine, and I'm taking them somewhere. Like, could that ever be misinterpreted as kidnapping?
It could be misinterpreted, perhaps. I'm looking right here. Apparently, there's a federal statute. Yeah, it's possible. There's a federal statute where applies if a minor is transported across state lines, even if they leave willingly. And so you can imagine some scenario where you see this minor walking on the side of the road, pick them up, give them a ride to their parents' house, and then I so highly doubt in this scenario charges would actually be pressed because a jury just wouldn't find this to be kidnapping. But
I'm not so sure though. Think about this, right? If I didn't have proper intentions, what would I say? Hey, this kid, like I'll take him home, right? Yeah, like they were in trouble, and I stopped and grabbed them. That would be my exact cover story.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
it depends how believable
Matt
it is, but
Gaetz
yeah.
took a 17-year-old across state lines, and he still hasn't been charged. So, like, apparently there are instances
Okay.
where you can, quote, innocently travel with minors and still be okay.
I am sure I am in the cohort, right? Along as I am in the same cohort with that white congressman who took that child, right? I am sure Black broke ass Prime will also get the same treatment by our wondrous justice system. But yeah, like I just thought that was like a really interesting legal question because like I never considered that before, obviously because I'm not often offering children rides in my car.
Well, you said not often, or like should be
Yeah,
virtually?
it's the occasional. It's every now and then.
Well,
Okay,
I
you
mean,
know.
if we're really talking about kidnapping, we know who the number one.
Sometimes it's raining outside.
Well, if we're talking about kidnapping, we really need to talk about who the number one kidnapper is, especially after this report about the government not answering the phone calls from these kids, and they only have one person employed to do that shit. And not what, like 66,000 or 55,000 calls went unanswered. You know about this?
55,000
You mean
calls.
the
Went on.
FEMA calls that didn't get.
What did Joe Biden
answered?
do? What did Joe Biden
So
do?
yeah,
Tell me.
these for these illegal alien kids, basically, when they were like had a hotline out there,
I
they could
knew
call.
it.
They could call and say, "Hey, we're with people that are like bad, right?" And like like separate us from these people. 55,000 or something, like it was either 55,000 or 66,000 calls went unanswered. And they only had one person staffing it. So once again, the Bidens, they actually don't care about the illegal aliens. They're just trafficking the children.
True. I care about
can't-
illegal aliens specifically.
Yeah,
I,
the Dems just want slavery, sex
disagree.
slavery.
I want
they
them to work
actual
on their
slavery.
weed farms. I want them to work on the weed
Mhm.
farms and just get paid for it. That's all. I just hope they get paid for it. That's my only. No indentured servitude in America.
Yeah, but that's what the
Yeah, in
Dems
any
want. They
case,
want
like-
the indentured servitude.
Nah,
any
it's what the
case-
companies want.
Sorry,
I don't know if
if
it's what the Dems want. That's what the big
Um,
businesses want. They can't
especially
operate
if you have
without
an
it.
article on that. I love Peter
Sure, yeah, I'll
because
find
that
it real quick,
sounds
yeah.
like something I can attack the Biden administration with, and I'm always looking for more of that. But yeah, I thought this was interesting. Like what is a I wonder if there's interesting case law in this. Like, what's the limit? Like on kidnapping? Like on like it's what's interesting is when
So
race
you're
gets
telling
involved.
the trafficking.
What something I do know is that especially we're talking about adoptive parents. Like there are some Black families who've adopted like either white children or like Asian children or whatever, right? When Black adults are walking around with young light-skinned children, is apparently suspicious in a lot of people's minds, right? And they will call the cops and have them stopped over this. Or adopted Black parents have talked about this, right? That they get especially when their child was young, they'll get stopped by that by this. But it doesn't work on the other way around. If a white adult is, or at least rarely in which way, if white adults are with a young dark skinned children, they don't get called out in the same way. They don't have the cops stop them. I remember this one incident, and it wasn't with this wasn't adoptive parents. It was a slightly different situation where there was a group of individuals in a dance club, and they were going to a dance festival thing. I don't know, like a dance competition. That's what it was. Yeah, like festival. I don't know. But they were going to like a competition, and they get stopped. Right, there's a group of Black males in the car with just one lone white female in the car. She's she's some teenager, right? And they talk to them, and they end up, I think, arresting, if I'm remembering correctly, at least arrest them. If not arrest them, they did take the child into custody. At least that happened. And the they had paperwork, right? Like the individuals had like a signed like permission slip from the parent. Like, here's a permission slip, signature. You can call the parent, right? They did authorize us to take their child, and so, but they held the child at the very least. I'm not sure if the adults were arrested, and they had the mother, I think, come pick her up, and like when they were on a call, when the police officer, the police chief, or whoever it was who was making the call, we're talking to him, like the mother says, yeah, I did let my child go with these people, and he's like what kind of mother lets her child like ride around with black men? Was his response.
Whoa.
Something along those lines. Yeah. There's a whole
How many
video
men were
about
in the
this.
vehicle?
I don't know. It sounded like more than one. It sounded like two, but there's I don't know. But yeah, would that make a difference to you in your assessment?
If it was more than one? I mean, I think it would make a difference just in terms of my evaluation of like the intelligence of it, right? Not necessarily if the men are black, but just if they're men, like 5 men, depending on how well you knew them. But it'd be kind of not common for that kind of scenario to happen. So uncommon scenarios, I think, warrant investigation. I think that's reasonable. When the
I would
Well,
imagine I would feel a little bit better if it was multiples, because if you're doing something shady, often you're doing it on your own. Like, you don't want witnesses and all that. But if it's a group of people, it seems to me that, I don't know, I would find that a little bit more reassuring, as opposed to
So
if it
well,
was
they're
just
all
one
men.
single person.
If it
well,
was
I
like
don't know
if it was
they're
like four men and a woman, for sure. But if it's just like 5 men, I don't know. That would make me feel pretty uncomfortable.
well,
Like,
okay. So to be clear, I don't know if they were all men, because like this was like with a dance competition. I don't know if they were all men, or they're like like a black male chaperone, and then the others were like black kids there too. I don't know the exact composition.
that'd be fine.
But like, but I think you said something interesting though, right? And I think you said something fair. Unusual situations warrant investigation, right? So like, if I'm a cop and I see this, right? I don't think it sucks. It sucks. But I guess like if I see it there, I'm not sure if it's a bad idea to stop and talk to these individuals, right? But then what's the limits of this, right? Because going back to the other example I was just talking about, like black adoptive parents, like can I as a black man like have in my company like a young white child, right? And just like exist in the world without like being suspicious. Like, I mean, if that's more unusual. That fits the definition. It's unusual to see that, but
I don't think it's possible for you to do it and not be suspicious, like, or more suspicious than like if it was a black child. That's just
But
the
I
way
mean,
it
I
like,
mean,
works.
the same thing happens when I take my like adopted nephew. Like, right, my cousin married a girl and she had a kid, and they're Dominican Cuban. And when I take him out, right, and he's pretty fucking dark skinned, right? People look at me weird, and they're like, "Is he with you?" Or like when I go to pick him up from school, they're like, "How are you related to him?" I'm like, "Through marriage, through whatever it may be." But like it is just a weird look in
I
general.
get someone asking, right? But that's different from like the state getting involved, right? People can ask and wonder, right?
Well, I'm
it's
sure if
fine,
I was
right?
like out in like a city, right, maybe like a cop would call, or a cop call would happen. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. Like you're like, but you are
No,
lighter
I'm not saying it's
skinned,
good.
friend.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
it's
no,
good.
no, I'm not saying you're passing valid judgment, but I'm saying you are lighter
Yeah.
skinned, and I'm curious if there would be, in the same way. And I don't know. I as I'm like talking about this, like I'm actively like pondering the situation. I'm not saying I have the answer to this, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, at the same time, like if you see something, say something, right? You don't want it to be the case that like, oh, you saw like something you thought was off, and then you didn't say something, and then like now some kid is dead or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like,
But my full opinion on this is that like when the stakes are higher, it like like it more as the stakes get higher and higher, it justifies more and more getting involved, even on the potential for a false positive. And so, yeah, you might feel like shit if, like, you in this scenario, like, there's, a car, let's say, with like 5 adult black men and a teenage white girl, and you call the police, and then the cops come and investigate it, and it turns out everything's fine, right? You might feel like shit, like, oh, I'm a racist, etc. But I mean, this is a relatively unusual scenario, and the stakes are high because the risk is, if there is something wrong, right? This kind of unusual scenario does demonstrate something wrong. The outcome is awful, right? The outcome is awful enough to justify, I think, potentially getting involved. Like you said, see something, say something. If there's some guy who's like acting really shifty with like a duffel bag in the back, right? Like, I might feel a little bit like concerned, right? And depending on the scenario, could obviously change what I might do. I think that the way to counter this is like when the risks are very low. In those scenarios, like, just don't do it, right? So like typical scenario is like, I see like 4 just black youths, like young adults, like hanging out, like, in an alley or something, and I smell weed. Like, what's the stakes here, really? The stakes are, some weed's getting smoked. I really don't care, right? That's the scenario, and I could be totally wrong. It could be coming from somewhere else. And I could be right. It could be that they're doing it. But in that scenario, like, without a lot of evidence, like, I don't think it's worth it to get involved. But, if the potential is a young woman's life, I mean, you got to do the calculus in your head. But I would lean towards calling the cops.
You know what's
Yeah.
annoying? My nephew, he went through this habit for a few months where if you would hold him, he'd want to get away from you, just to get you to put him down. He'd say, "Help me!" He'd scream, "Help me!" So if you picked him up anywhere in public, he would just scream, "Help me! Help!" It was a fucking mess. Our kids
That's
are
a good way to give them put you down. Like,
fucking kids should
immediately.
they should stay at home. They should not be like in the outside world. It'll make the world a better place.
I agree.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't I don't know if other people have other opinions on this, and anyone can jump in if they like. I think I don't like how the calculus is imbalanced, though, right? Like, I don't like that a white individual, so Lactoid, took a dark-skinned child. He took my nephew, right? And he was like walking around my little nephew that, like,
I should be asked questions.
Yeah, right. But like, yeah, it's just that, like, if the reverse is true, and I'm like, let's say, 8% likely to get the cops called on me, right? It should be 8% on for Lactoid, but I don't think that it is, and that's really a big part of the problem for me, and how we view these things. Yeah, like who is just considered dangerous and who is considered suspicious. But it's also, like, I also don't ever want it to be the case that, oh, someone felt like they need to be PC, right? And so they didn't make the call, and then someone died. I don't know. If anyone else has something to add to that, that's fine. If not, we can.
I mean, it happens to me all the time, right? Like, you go to a debate tournament, and then like parents don't come to pick them up, or like the tournament's been over for an hour and the parents still aren't there, or whatever. You got to take them home. You got to give them a ride. And so they end up in my car for a ride back, and even though I don't want to do it, because whatever liabilities, but I've been doing that for like 30 years, and I've never had a problem with cops. So that tells you something. Yeah.
Now it's been confirmed, right? A mass trafficking ring by Iko Rich. And he's been running, and no cops stopped him. So,
and the ethnicity almost never matches, right? Because for the longest time, I was in 70% Hispanic school districts, and these days I'm teaching mostly Asian kids, right? So the ethnicities don't match, and yet I don't think I've ever been pulled over for something like that. So, the identity of the driver might have something to do with it.
I'm gonna ask a Joe question. Are the children in the front seat or back seat of the car, or are they in the trunk?
And then the trunk.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
It's the safest place for them to ride, right? Also, kids get their grubby little hands and everything, so like it's good to like use like a nylon rope on them, and then they just never shut the hell up. I need to concentrate, right? So maybe just a tape. I don't know, but yeah, okay. I just think it's
Yeah, but
really
that
interesting.
generally hurts their performance. You know, it's called a speech tournament. If you can't speak, it's a problem.
Okay. Fair enough.
It's
That's
through a high cow, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
They just put a sack in
hurts
their
the
head,
win
right?
loss rate.
Black bag them. They can still talk afterwards. But yeah, so I thought it was an interesting question. And I'd really like it if other people, in the future, like if people wanted to share their opinions on these things. Fuck, am I muted? No, I'm not muted.
No,
I'm muted.
Gibbs, what's that shirt?
Yeah, I thought it was appropriate for the combo. You know, I thought we got the Palestine, Israel. We got King Baldwin calling for a crusade. I think we should go back to conquering things. Bring back the crusade.
I think this was the proper order, right? Palestine, then Israel, then the Crusades. I'm cool with that.
You notice
at least you got the order right, baby.
These are the order of conquest. In that order. Bring back the Holy Land.
they did show up in Superman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Listen, in order to conquer Palestine, you have to bring it back. So listen, I'm cool with the plan. All right, bring it back, then try to conquer it. I'm down.
We can like
here's
create
how I
a
know.
new Christian state
build,
there.
then destroy. Let's do it.
Yes.
Attitudes appears to have changed. Like I know that polling on Israel Palestine has been shifting over the last several months, and I didn't think last year that we would have shifted as much as we have up until now. But if you had any doubt about it, like the fact that they just had a big piece on that in the Superman movie, and people really haven't complained that much about it. If the Superman movie had done that a year ago or 2 years ago, I think there would have been a lot more chatter about it, and everyone accepts it this year.
Ben Shapiro says otherwise, but
no, Ben Shapiro just says that it wasn't that wasn't it was about something else that had nothing to do with Israel Palestine. He just denied that it said what it said. But
I think you're go ahead.
But I'm saying I'm surprised people didn't say, oh, that movie's a woke mess because of what it said about Palestine or whatever. I'm not going to watch it. I don't think we're not seeing a lot of that commentary on it. Maybe it's because there's a lot of people on the right who just hate Israel for other reasons, and so it kind of helps that they'll jump aboard any sort of anti-Jewish talking point. Maybe that might have something to do with it. But I do think that there's been sort of big shift in culture.
Gibbs and Misfit Patriot have been hanging out. I see.
I got a whole bunch of them. Here, let me go get my new favorite one.
Is this Misfit Patriot merch? What's going on?
I don't even know who that is, but
seems unlikely.
1 second. So while you're messing with that, thank you for the. Hopefully everything is working right now, because.
No, I don't want to be. Your light is off, and I can't see you.
Yeah,
so
I know. So I don't know why that happened.
Your stream is still up, as far as I can tell.
Thank you. I was about to ask you that.
You still have the blue shading lights behind you like you used to?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, your room used to have blue lights or something.
Oh, I could put on a blue light. It's just my TV. That's just that's the only accent thing I have is my TV.
Like that one? That's a good one. I got this for Pride Week. It's a good one.
Very nice. Very nice.
No, this was can'twearthis.com where was the company.
What does it say? I didn't see
I'll just show you again. You'll like it, I think. I was very in Pride themed.
Can't wear this.
Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, and then 3B is
Base Systems. Valleys.
Base. Okay, is that
we
another?
Can't see the bottom one. It's shaded by your name. Oh, Thales.
Yeah, they're all like military industrial complex companies.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But it's like LGBT.
No, it actually makes sense for Pride.
I'm surprised it didn't include Boeing for B.
I'm a little surprised they didn't put Boeing on there as well.
Make more sense
I think that I think the companies have deals with this shirt company because they have a shitload of Skunkworks fucking shirts
they got
on there.
A lot, yeah.
So what I was going to say is that for the Pride March itself, the actual branded Pride March, and I say branded with a capital B there, right? Yeah, a lot of these companies, right, the most awful companies, have deals with that Pride March. So I think it's actually really good. That might have been put out actually by LGBTQ individuals, because There's a lot of them who are against
I
the
don't think
official
so.
Pride March at this point.
This website, definitely not. I'm looking at it right
Oh,
now.
okay, well, not that one. Oh no. What I'm saying, no. What I'm saying is that is a type of shirt that could be put out. I don't know about the actual retailer, but like that commentary about the Pride March has been around for quite a long time now, and they have competing marches as well to the official, at least the official New York Pride March. I'm not sure if it's spread other places, but like Pride March, it used to be different, right? Pride March was all about like, hey, we want to inspire the community, we want people to join us and be a part of the whole thing. But then they got like corporate, they got branded, right? And what do corporations want? They want things that are brand safe. And so not only do the floats change, but like the structure of the march has to change to not have anything uncontrolled happen. So like the Pride marches, like people used to like be able to get inspired and then jump into the to the march, right? Like, hey, I'm a young gay kid, right? And like this is the first time I feel accepted around myself, around a large group of people. I'd love to be a part of this march. Well, just come on in, right? And they would just march. That was, but that changed when the brands came in. So like they have competing marches that are like capture the old spirit. So yeah, fuck the.
Yeah, I would be very shocked if this was an LGBTQ group.
Some of these
I-
shirts
I-
just don't
I
make
just-
sense. I didn't know nuking France was like a position.
Yeah,
Like,
they
a lot
just
of them are about nuking India, but this
yeah
one's
they
about
they
nuking
apparently they
France.
hate India. I
Oh, they
don't
hate
know.
India, but France. I didn't know that was like a big.
Yeah, because they're a bunch of fucking French
Chicago, they want to nuke Chicago.
know,
so,
pussies
Thank
that always
you,
run away.
Sean. Thank you, Sean, for gifting a membership on YouTube, and then thank you, Alexander Wynn, for the $20 super chat. They say millennials grew up with or millennial, is it millennials TM? I can't read that one part, but maybe it's millennials TM. Grew up with a bill per text sent. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Shorthand was necessary. Millennials didn't lowercase too much. They were more likely to caps lock.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was wrong. Millennials didn't lowercase too much, but Gen Z,
So
they do.
I really like one
Yeah,
of theirs. Says "I stand with Ukraine." It's got a line through it. It says Lockheed Martin.
Lockheed Martin. I saw that one.
so what Alexander's saying is that for text, when millennials were growing up, like you were charged per, like it wasn't unlimited texting, right? And so it had to fit, and you had to get your message out more concisely. And so like there was a lot of shorthanding happening, so that altered that. It's also that's really interesting how platforms alter speech. There's like a lot of interesting like linguistic theory around that's really happening, especially now with our algorithm and how that's affecting speech. But let's talk. We can talk about that some other time. I think that's actually a really good conversation. But let's jump into the main topic. So thanks all for being here. I really appreciate you, guys and gals. If you've enjoyed the conversation so far, that was our preamble, which I usually have. If you enjoyed the conversation so far, consider supporting the channel. Sub to the channel, get bits or gift subs. Could really use that assistance. People are saying I was muted at some point in time. I don't know when I was muted. I didn't make a change, but all right. That sucks. Anyway, whatever. It's fine. But apparently I'm not muted now. But if you want to have better audio equipment, consider supporting the channel. Sub to the channel, get bits or gift subs. Or if you on YouTube, consider using our super chats. We do read your super chats, right? Whenever Corey allows me. I desperately want to read your super chats immediately. But Corey, right? He sends me like texts like Prime, not yet. You know the consequences.
Send you text in all lowercase.
It's all lowercase. But anyway, yeah, if you want to interact with the show, consider sending a super chat. Let us know what you think. We react to those super chats. Thank you, Alexander Wynn, for that one super chat. And all right, so we'll introduce our friends and we'll get started with the topic at hand. First, Lactoid. Thanks for being here. Lactoid was away from us last week. One of the rare occasions. Lactoid, at one time, we had a heart-to-heart. And Lactoid let me know of like what he gets up to in his personal life. You see, like we got a bit of a code, right? And when Lactoid needs to head out, all right, He talks about like uh, a lot of legal work that needs to be done, right? Out of town legal work all of a sudden, right?
Paperwork
Legal
needs filing.
paperwork needs filing. Yeah. See, with another hot blonde lawyer friend that he has across state lines. She talks a lot about um, the difficult, tough cases that she deals with, and whether, and she asked Lactoid if he can consult with her, in her bedroom. So my man Lactoid had another one of these situations where he had to go out of town, right, for business, right, to do the business, and I appreciate it. So I'm happy that my friend Lactoid has gone out relaxed, right? Did the thing that he really enjoys. Be providing pro bono work, right? Um, so Lactoid, how are you? Are you refreshed?
Yeah, I'm doing good. One of the reasons I use, going to go do work as a code word here is because lefties, they have no idea what that's like, right? So they can't like try to challenge me or figure out, right, if I'm lying and then accuse me of running because they just don't know. But no, I actually had actual work. No oral arguments were made.
No oral. I missed
I
it. Oral
totally ripped that.
arguments.
I totally ripped that. I totally ripped that. Just to be clear.
Right in front of me.
But yeah, no, it's great to be back. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate you for bringing me on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking about the subject.
Yeah. And you can also like just bring your ladies over to wherever you are, right?
Yeah.
You're bashing your head and
But then I wouldn't be able to pull up on my motorcycle, right? I mean, that's what gets them going. So
that's why you need the sidecar. I've been telling you, get the sidecar, right?
It'd be way hotter if they
It's
pulled up and you were
surprisingly
cleaning it,
expensive.
Lactoid. You
Yeah.
you cleaning Sudsy. Imagine they pulled up on that. Cleaning your. You got to think outside of the box.
Yeah. Right. The soapy. Shirt off. That'll work.
Sudsy. Sudsy is a better word.
Sudsy. Okay, I'll take that. All right. Next, we have a friend Gibbs. Thank you, Gibbs, for being here. You also weren't here the other week, and we really missed you, friend. You had a far less sexy excuse
Yeah.
than Lactoid, but yeah, we're glad you're back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah. Corey, thank you.
Thank you. I was here last week.
were.
Lactoid took my place at the DSA meeting that he attended to. Make no mistake, it was not for work. It was a DSA meeting. But you can find me on Twitch, Corey Campbell 84, Twitter, X, YouTube, Instagram is Corey Campbell, and Substack is Corey Campbell. Looking forward to getting into it.
Hold on, that's for work and for pleasure, right? I mean,
True.
like, he was consulting with
DSA
a DSA, yeah, a DSA legal advisor, right? And there's that like fatal attraction, that tension, between a libertarian and a socialist, right? It's their differences that draw them together, right?
I can see
Rip each other's clothes off. Like their dirty talk is about like the taxation powers of the government. But hey, man, like I get it, right? Like the opposites attract. So shout out to my friend Lactoid, keeping his options open.
So that's why he's no longer known as Anti-Communist United.
Had
to get his foot in the door.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't that play into it though?
Which, by the way, communists are also anti-tax, right? Because if they don't
believe in private property,
anything, then there can be no taxes.
But
just two different ways of getting rid of taxes.
People and stuff. Okay. Anyway, Aiko, thank you. How are you, friend? We haven't had you here in a little bit, but you were busy. With like teaching and like expanding.
Yeah, I literally got a class 2 minutes before I arrived here. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks
Zoom
for
class, so I was at home. Yeah.
Ali, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me, man. I just want to say I've heard Maoist, Marxist, Lenin. If I never hear these terms again, I'll be a happier person, I think.
Oh, there's something I forgot to tell you guys about. You just reminded me. Oh
Is about
God.
the conversation that you left me to absorb. I got called I got called a leftist or not. I didn't even know we were going left and right. But apparently, I'm to the left
You
of you,
got called a
Prime, which I
leftist?
don't. Listen, apparently I'm to the left of Prime. Prime is a lib. I thought libs were left.
They
I
called
have
me
no
a
idea.
liberal.
Listen,
I mean,
yes.
Yeah,
I'm sure they did.
Who
They are
called
left.
you a
They are left.
leftist or more left?
No,
If you
just to the
want-
left of Prime, on the left, apparently. You know, I was like, no, I corrected. I was like, I promise you, I'm not to the left of Prime. Pretty sure he's fairly to the left of me.
Yeah. But that actually says something. Hold on, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna introduce Doobie first, but we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about this before we get into the main topic. This will be fun for a second, right?
Mhm.
And then we'll get to the main topic shortly after. But Doobie, we haven't had you in at a fair little bit. I know you got a lot. Oh no, maybe you were here not too long. Anyway, you got a lot going on, Doobie. I know. And so we miss you.
Yeah, I had COVID for a while, and now I'm better, and I'm here.
Wait. Did you change your ID and your name based off of this AI that you've been conversing with?
Yeah, Doobie.
I wish it were that cool, but no.
No,
What actually
and
happened is
this a different Doobie that we're getting? Are you testing AI Doobie?
no. What actually happened is I'm pretty sure people in Destiny's community mass reported my account.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I'm like 99% sure that's what happened.
He's been on one of those tears, I think, lately, but yeah. That sucks. Sorry.
Few people
Yeah.
have been on a tear. This
Or
last
does that mean
2
you've like
weeks.
lost privileges in your own server? Or I don't know how it works.
No, the server isn't owned by my account. It's
Oh,
on an
okay.
alt. To avoid this
Oh.
kind of situation, actually.
Smart.
Yeah.
You've diversified. That makes sense. That's
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. Was that what you guys were talking about just now? The ML thing and is that like? Oh, that's a whole different thing. Okay.
I just saw your your Discord channel. I was like, oh, wonder if this relates to that conversation because it looks like what I would imagine your
The
AI
other
would come up
Doobie
with.
account died of COVID. And you need to create this new one.
So what I was referring to was a very good cause that I was a part of on Friday into Saturday, which was raising money for a family in Palestine who suffering because of the genocide, because of Israel's mass starvation policy. Katie, who was that Katie, that's her name, very
Mhm.
confusing. But she was the one running that, organized it, put together. So it was like a 24-hour type streamathon thing where they're raising money. And I think the stream might be still, the link might be still active. I wonder if I can get my hand.
I think it actually just closed, but you can double check yourself. But I'm pretty sure it closed.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you see it, then it's closed. It's closed. Doesn't matter if I check it again. I'll believe you, Corey. He says closed. But in any case, there was a stream. A bunch of people came on. These are all left individuals, and I didn't go in there going there to start a fight, but
Mhm.
someone came for me, and so I came back.
Prime, the
you know me.
defender of American capitalism.
Oh my God, Lactulate.
You would have been so proud.
You would have been so. Holy crap! They put me in a position to be defending America, defending the American way.
America has to survive. He was afraid. He was afraid. I was told you were afraid that if America failed, what else would America has to survive? What else can we do? That was
Oh my
Prime.
God.
That was
You know,
Prime was Lactoid.
So was there a lot of talk about me afterwards? Like,
No. So like the initial me coming in, I was like, I like to argue because I don't know what to fucking say to any of these people. So I was like, I like to argue. So I kind of went. I was like, what did you? I'll defend Prime, and then he could they were just asking questions, and then I was like, it just got to the point where the one guy, Rage or whatever his name is, was really just trying to figure out and trying to bring people over to socialism, and that was his goal for the first 15 minutes, and then we switched off. But yeah, that was a lot. It was intense.
So TLDR, I won't have to go long into this, right? The cause is great, right? It just had got into a discussion, and it turned into like a 2-hour debate with me. Not a surprise, right? But like it was on like whether the American system can sufficiently change as to not like brutalize people, brown people around the world, right? Like, can that ever be the case? Like, does it require radical change
Well-
for this thing to happen? But in any case, like,
Well, just to be clear, it's
everyone
not
was,
just brown people. We brutalize all people all around the world. That's
Damn
what we're
right.
good at. God damn it.
Damn right.
It's not racist if we get everybody equally.
Absolutely.
And we're like particular to the Browns.
Nah.
So look, the conversation, it was everyone against me, right? I'm a leftist, and I share their goals, but like I was like trying to interrogate like their path forward, right? Like, what's your plan to enact the change that you want in the world? And that's where the fight was taking place, and things escalated there a bit. My issue, though, is that it seems, this is my opinion, no one else has to have this opinion, it seems that in a lot of leftist circles, ideas aren't tested. They aren't like really tested. I wanted to say, like, and I wish a few more of you were here, but I want to thank the conservatives on this panel, and anyone who ever.
So you're a socialist.
I wanted to thank anyone who's ever disagreed with me, period, no matter where you are on the political spectrum, because it forces me to defend myself, right? Defend my stances. When someone says I'm wrong, I have to be able to present that argument cogently. I feel like not everyone gets that practice. And it shows up in these tense moments. I feel like people. I'm not trying to attack anyone in particular, right? This is very important. I'm not trying to start drama or anything, right? But I just feel like people craft spaces where like everyone is like-minded, right? And there could be good reasons for that, right? Like, I'm not necessarily against like that very concept, but like when you do that, right, and that's your social circle, it puts you in a position where you can't necessarily properly defend your ideas. That unique ideas that spring forth from that group, no one says no to it, no one challenges it, and so like they just kind of exist out there until they interface with the real world. So that was an issue there that I was coming across. But secondly, and this part, what I told you, you'll find hilarious, right? There was this one person, an individual that happened to be a woman there. As I'm arguing, she's like, I'm talking to someone else, and she stops me. She's like, "Hey, it would be great if you could stop, calling us, like the women on the panel, hun, HUN, like honey." I'm like, what? Like, you have never heard me say the word hun?
Never.
Or hun. Never.
Mind
Never,
you,
ever, ever.
There's
You
the
need-
only
you need-
vacational woman here, but I agree. I would not have pictured you saying that ever.
You got to stop
And you know,
objectifying
Corey
women,
says
Brian.
it,
You're
it
being
is-
too
it must be
objectifying
true.
of them, goddammit, bro.
Yeah.
How dare you call them hun, Prime? How dare you? But listen, believe all women. Believe all women,
Well, another woman had to stand up for me and was like, well, like I've known this person for years, and they've like literally never have said anything like that, right? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know where this came up, right? And then the conversation goes on, and then she stops again. She stops like the conversation. She's like, "Hey, did you hear it? He did it again."
You're probably just saying
Use
one
the word
or something
hun.
like that.
No, I was
Okay.
probably saying or something. I don't know what it was, right? But like I said, but she's like, no, he's saying hun. No one else in the panel even says it. Like no one else raised their hand. Like he didn't say anything like that, right? And it felt like to me, I'm not diagnosing anyone, but it feels like to me that like someone was having a PTSD moment of like other men who have like condescended to you, like in these kinds of like heated discussions. and you think that like I'm inserting Hun because that's what usually happens maybe to you. I could see that, but like I didn't. like
Or just finding a way to shut down the conversation of like, I need to find a way to get you to stop talking, so I'm just going to make something
I
up.
don't know what
Basically.
happened.
I would have
Uh,
only
yeah.
called her Hun from then on. Like I'd have been like, okay, Hun.
True.
I'd have been like, thanks, sweet cheeks. Like I would have
yeah,
just.
I would have got more condescending. I'm not gonna lie.
I would have been
That's
like,
usually
I'd
the
be like,
goal.
listen here,
And
sweetie
you were
pie.
denying it, right? Prime, you were saying,
Yeah,
I'm not calling
absolutely.
you. Yeah. There was actually, you're not going to fully agree with this, but there's a statement that I once saw. Who is that one guy? Fuck. He got in trouble. Jussie Smollett.
Mhm.
Remember that
For
guy?
lying?
Juicy smoothie.
Yeah, he lied about the hate crime, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he fabricated a whole situation.
He fabricated a whole situation. Yeah.
No, the Dave Chappelle skit on that is so good.
I haven't seen that, but
it's
Dave
so
Chappelle's,
funny.
Dave Chappelle's pretty good.
Well, the
But
situation itself is a skit. Like,
Bro, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but
like,
they're-
you find out the guys are from like Nigeria. He's like, can you imagine
Yeah,
these
they
guys'
were from
accents?
Nigeria.
He's like, can you imagine these guys?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, we are MAGA. I don't know. You'll have to watch it. It's really good.
No, it's great. But there was a comment on one of the news stories that I love it. It was very short. It said, "This is what happens when the demand for racism exceeds the supply."
That's
And
funny.
I think I don't know. I think that this applies to sexism too. Like there are a lot of people who are like just looking for ghosts, right? And when you say and you have
Just
said
afraid of being
and
attacked.
yeah, sure, as we all do, right? We all have those filler words.
Don't ever forget what happened to that.
Just did it. And then you have some people who say, no,
You know what I'm talking about?
this is secret. This is him saying Hun, the OK symbol. It's the one. It's white supremacy.
dog whistling.
Yeah, dog whistling. It's all,
Honestly,
it's all under the table.
that's like having a conversation with any like pro-Israel person ever. They're just looking for the moment they can catch you being an anti-Semite, right? And for the rest of the conversation, you're an anti-Semite.
Why are you making it about Israel, huh, Doobie? Are you maybe a little
Okay,
bit
Mr.
anti-Semitic?
Smollett,
But
I don't
everything
know.
should be about Lactoid.
I am anti-Zionist, okay? But hold on. I was thinking about it because
That's when the men
something
approach
Prime
you?
said earlier.
Did you see them?
And actually, we were talking about this earlier, Lactoid, and I was gonna say this to you, and I didn't get the chance because you sort of rambled and disrupted me, you dumb bitch. But anyway,
Celebrity hunting
I was
season.
really curious because
Doesn't matter what I say,
we were talking about the possibility that some people were being paid off by this group or that group, right? And the recent polls on Israel-Palestine are very interesting to me because they're so slanted, like anti-Israel, across the board. Even in the Republican Party, young Republicans, even there's a lot of like anti-Israel sentiment. Older Republicans still very pro-Israel, right? But I think some like under 18 or under 35 or 18 to 24 or something like this. Even there's a big shift. And the Democrat Party, it's like fucking, I think there's like a 50 something points shift, right, over the last like 4 years or something, which is insane. And I was having a conversation with a guy on my server 4 or 5 days ago, when he was talking about the need to get rid of leftists, to get leftists out of the Democrat Party, and to stop pandering to leftists with like the Israel-Palestine thing. Oh, if we support Palestine, or if we're like anti-Israel, this is just pandering to leftists. And I was saying like, and I told him like, if the vast majority of the Democrat Party supports this position, how the fuck are you not pandering to the other side by being opposed to it? Like, why would we be saying that our politicians are representatives? Should we be supporting the thing that the vast majority of the Democrat Party doesn't support? Like, how isn't that also pandering, right? Like, I think that's, I don't know. I think there's something to be said about there's like a, and I think you might have run into this too, Prime. I think there's like a push push people back to the middle of the Overton window on all sides, basically, right? Like, hey, this is what has been okay in the past, and it's what's going to be okay in the future. And if you're moving outside of that, then you're on the extremes, right? Even if socially, culturally, we're moving that direction anyway, there's like a pull, like to pull you back into the fold, right? And I think that absolutely exists. But then when you get on the fringes, right, you have people trying to push you out if you're not extreme enough, right? If you are not as fringe as they are, you're a fucking right winger or something. Right? So it's just really,
Well, you're liberal now if you're not as far as they are.
yeah. I don't know. It's just very strange.
Yeah. I I think Lactoid, if you watch, because I'm pretty sure the VOD is up somewhere, maybe still on Decay's channel.
I don't think she keeps VODs.
Oh,
I
maybe
believe.
not. I wonder. It must be somewhere. But like that conversation was interesting. I think I want to tell you more about it. Like what necessarily happened there. Interesting arguments made. Interesting arguments. And yeah, like I feel like there was a thought. Did someone specifically call me a liberal, Ali? Like, did they use that word? They call me a liberal?
The guy that you were arguing with, the guy in the, I think his name is Rage or Bunny, whatever. I can't remember people's names, but I think the guy that
Oh, he's a black guy, or
black guy.
Raptor, I think is his name.
There we go.
Okay.
People
No,
don't know
not
what
Bunny, but close. But
No, his name on like Discord was like Bunny something.
oh, okay, all right.
No.
In any case, yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, calling me a fucking liberal. Oh my god, like that's fucking
crazy.
insult. Holy
Yeah.
shit, yeah. But like,
Yeah, so
and-
like it came up. He asked, what did he ask? He asked, do you care? Do you want to oppress workers? I was like, no. He's like, do you want like free healthcare? I was like, yeah, sure. You know, I was like agreeing, and then he's like, well, there we go. We can talk. See, you're on the
Now
left,
you're
and I was like,
communist.
yeah, I was like, what? I'm so confused. I was like, I was like, no, I like capitalism though. Is that like, they're like, what do you mean? I was like, I like making money. I don't know, like that's the issue here, right? And then.
but like,
Yeah, I think a lot of lefties don't understand. You can arrive at those positions from like a right wing framework. Actually, you can be full on fascist and support those things, right? Because you believe that the nation should the priority of the nation should be to take care of its people, whatever.
Yeah, that's basically what I was agreeing to. I was like, I do agree with that, but like also, I don't think you get that without like making money. You have to make money.
Well,
I was actively attacking capitalism right there. I was like, hey, in case you're not like, yeah, like I agree with you guys on like excesses of capitalism and like wanting socialism and all that, right? But like because I wouldn't go with them all the way.
Yeah, you have to be a full blown commie.
Well,
Be a commie tanky.
Like they were talking. Look, they Lactoid. Like
Fuck all of you for making me learn these words. By the way,
Lactoid. They were talking about because like I was saying, like
revolution.
How can we make the change, right? The radical change in American foreign policy. Like, okay, they're like, well, the America has to dissolve. It has to be a dissolution of America, like because of its like abusive, racist, bigoted roots, right? That it'll never change, right? And I'm like, okay, what does that look like? And a lot of them talk about, well, it'll look like land back, and that like there will be a federation of Native American sovereign states that'll form on the American continent, right? And that'll
They tried to get me on that.
That'll
They asked, like,
fix
they're
it.
like, do you agree with land back? I was like, I mean, like, I guess sure, people should get their land back, but like, what is? I don't know what that means, right? Like,
but the one person, and again, I'm not trying to like. The reason I'm not saying names, because I'm not trying to like cause any drama and like call.
You should
people
say
out,
names so
right?
they come onto here and argue with us.
yeah, I think you should do that. Name names.
you should
Like,
have
that's
that
what I'm doing
right
right now.
on
Hail
here.
Dave in
That would be a
chat. Hail Dave in
fucking
chat,
field.
and
day.
then-
Watch, I'll do it with you. Like, watch, I'll be like, say the person you hate the most. Be like, fuck Connor. You know what I'm saying? It's real simple. No,
Jesus.
but like, I do want to get in on this real quick because I've been talking to this girl, Kinetic Hell, recently, and I've been getting her in the debate world from the like drama sphere, and she's like drastically improved over the last couple of weeks, right? And she goes, it's crazy because I come in here and my audience has been like lefty drama streamers for a long time, and they'll come in and moral frog me, and now like I've been interacting with a bunch of conservatives. I go on like Grid Show, I come like hang out with you, and like all of y'all are like, y'all might be mean to me like in the chat or whatever like that day, but like they're in my chat now, and these lefties will say something and like they'll come at me like, oh, why are you platforming this person? And then the righties will be like, this is our person, why the fuck are you coming at them all cattywampus? Like, who the fuck are you? You're a loser. And she's, I've never had a community defend me before, and she's like, on the left, like we eat our own, and it's like, this is the biggest conversion thing anything y'all have. And she's like, I think it's a big reason why the Dems have like low numbers, right? Like right now, approval numbers, because if you're like not just at the leadership's level, but like even at the level you're talking about, you can't even have a conversation with somebody on the left if you don't line up 100% with their stuff, because
They're
they're
very
going to
bitchy.
be, yeah, they're going to be like, you're a traitor. It almost reminds me
Very
of like,
bitchy.
it almost reminds me, and I know I make this analogy all the time, of like the Klan, where they're like, oh, you're a race traitor. You know, like that's what it feels like. It's like, oh, it's the same kind of vitriol, the anger, like.
It feels like to be in the Klan. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I know some Klan members. It's unfortunate. I fucking don't like them. I beat their ass. Like, but
reminds him of
yeah, I live in
Zelensky,
Texas.
too.
There's Klan members that and they're
You mean
I guess-
Democrats?
And you know what
Gibbs?
they all are? They're all Democrats. And unironically, one of those operators was back up in Washington with certain people I don't like. Surprise, surprise. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh my god. But
just
leave that part
like, just
alone.
name the people so they come on here and argue with us. Like I'll do it right now. So KO Dave in chat and this guess who farted this guy in Lactoid and Gibbs cat chat. Both of you guys come in here and argue with us. His bitch
Oh,
lot in
no,
chat.
I think it's
Anyway, he is
mainly
not left-wing.
mainly because like
Yeah, he's not
online
left-wing at all.
talk
Yeah, no, I'm
is
not
so
talking about just
contentious.
lefties. I think we should
Yeah.
call people in general and get them on here to argue with us.
It's fun. It's a lot of this. A
I
lot
don't
of
disagree
the
with that at all.
online. It's the debate space I've seen because I've been watching Hutch and Pisco and all these people fucking talk. And if one more person brings up Dearborn without having me on for the conversation, Pisco and Hutch, listen. It's
I'm gonna bring up
they keep
Dearborn.
looking at their online fucking audiences and their online streamer friends, and they're like, look, this is what people on the left think. This is what people on normal people. I'm sorry to say, don't fucking watch Twitch streams, and like the average American is kind of like just stupid and vibing things out, right? No one knows about
Amen.
policies. It's getting ridiculous, right? So I'm like, we're just forming these like online cult groups, right? And then we're using all this language and all these fucking words,
And nobody knows
it's
what it
just
means.
like, listen,
Nobody in
no
the
one
world
knows
knows what it means.
fucking Maoist, Marxist, Lenin. Listen, there's too many ists. There's too many
Okay.
isms.
Okay.
You're
okay.
absolutely right,
Alright,
though,
well,
Ali. Like,
Can
you're
I ask a quick
absolutely
question
right.
for you, Prime?
Sure.
Just two-part question. The first part is referencing something that was just said. What are your thoughts on people who believe that you should be excluded from the Democrat Party because of your left-wing beliefs? And the second part
Ooh.
is based on the lefties that you were talking to prior, who were perhaps too far left for you. Should they be excluded from the Democratic Party for being too far left?
I think they would exclude themselves from the
I think
Democratic
we're changing
Party.
the topic, Prime.
what-
Sorry.
That's like what they were talking about. It's like completely. So they don't want to be a part of that group. But I'll tackle both. So one, fuck all those people who would say that I can't be part. Again, I was literally the one defending, like reluctantly defending the Democrats, right? And that like just like defending the organization as a possible vehicle for change, right? As opposed to having a third party, or as opposed to the preferred opinion there, not even bothering with electoralism altogether, right? Like just don't vote. Like don't bother voting. And in fact, like putting effort into electoralism is harmful. Was the opinion? Okay. So I disagree with that. So I think that I have the right to be able to interact with this party and to shift it. I think it's important that people like me are within the party trying to push it left.
Would you
right?
say you're infiltrating it? Would you use that term?
I wouldn't say
Well, that's what-
infiltrating.
That's what
I'd
they're
say
saying.
I've been a lifelong Democrat, right? I was more of a liberal.
Infiltrated it from birth is what you're saying.
Mhm.
from birth.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
infiltrating it, bro.
Sure. All right.
Friends, do you think that- I was talking to-
Listen,
don't
Prime,
like
you're
this earlier,
African American.
but,
If you don't vote Democrat, then you betrayed the whole group. Like that's the rules.
Yeah.
True.
I'll end up like that.
I have a question. What do you think they would say? Because remember that sort of now famous debate between Hassan and Ethan Klein, when Klein finally got him to say who he voted for in the 2024 election, and he voted for Kamala. So does that make Hassan a sellout in the eyes of these people? That
No,
he
it's
actually
the bare, yeah. They say it's the bare minimum, and then they use his argument that he's trying to infiltrate the party, or he uses the Democrats as like a tool to get like the initiatives that he wants, right? And that's how you should see them.
But
They-
he,
they-
could- yeah,
yeah.
but how do you infiltrate with an anonymous vote? I mean, he didn't support her verbally. Like, he never said anything positive about her on his own.
I can
He
also
never
foresee
said
him
who he was voting
actually
for.
lying
And he
that he didn't
tried
actually vote
not
for
to.
him.
He tried to hide that vote even during that debate until he was finally pushed to where he had to say something to make his point. So I don't think he was infiltrating at all. I think he voted for Kamala because he knew how bad Trump would be, and that was that. Like, he didn't do anything beyond that. I don't think.
Yeah, but he didn't
succeeded in
endorse
getting any
her.
infiltration.
So it's the fact that he was secretive about it is what they're gonna say. Like, he didn't endorse her, right? And if
Right.
anything, he said like
Fair enough.
all he said was don't vote for Trump if you're going to vote. So they're gonna use that and be like that's that him voting for her isn't enough to like be part of the team.
Alexander, when $10 super chat says they have PDS. I don't know what PDS is. Maybe someone else can tell me. I don't know what PDS is.
Something
PDS?
derangement syndrome.
So,
But
yeah,
whatever
something
P
derangement.
is gonna be
Oh.
derangement syndrome. Yeah,
Is it Pisco derangement?
It's probably Pisco derangement.
Probably.
Might be. I know that this
He's
came
doing
in
nothing wrong.
before, so they're probably referring to something else. I don't
it's
know what
probably
that is.
Pisco. Yeah.
Yeah, tell us, Alexander Wynn, what was that?
It's Prime K's derangement syndrome, though.
Oh, it might
Prime
be.
derangement
It
syndrome.
might be. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it
I
was.
know Doobie wants to say something as well, and I don't really like it. I will answer your question, but Doobie, you want to say
No,
something?
fuck Lactoid. No, I was gonna ask you.
Don't
So
fuck Lactoid.
the impression
Oh,
I've
baby.
gotten, yeah, fuck Lactoid. The impression I've gotten, is that every time the Democrats lose an election or lose bad, they tend to point to the leftist, quote unquote, right? And then want to push away from them, blame them for all the issues with the party, blame them for why they're not winning, and the response from the leftists is to say, well, fuck you guys, we're gonna do we're not gonna vote for you anymore, right? Because you're not only are you like abandoning us in policy, but you're publicly, vocally abandoning us, right?
Yeah.
Telling us to fuck off. So, and then the response or the consequence is that the Democrat Party moves more to the right, moves more to the center, quote unquote. But actually, I think there are a lot of people who call themselves Democrats that are really just Republicans. They're like 1980, 1990 Republicans. It's very obvious, right? And not even just like politicians. I mean, like even in the streamer space, there's some people who call themselves Democrats or Dem voters or liberals who, I mean, really they are just 1990 Republicans. Like
Really,
realistically.
where?
Yeah. So
Tyler?
like.
Yeah, he calls himself
So-
on the. He says he's on the left.
So, like, do you agree with me, Prem? Do you think that that's like a thing the Democrat Party does, or liberals, quote unquote, do?
Okay, yeah. So I'll tackle all of these things. Starting with what Dewey just said. Yes, I do. I think though it's even more crazy because they will blame, and we've seen this in a few election cycles. Exactly what Dewey's talking about. Like they blame, like the Bernie Bros for Hillary's law, right? Not Hillary for the way she campaigned. That part was flawless, of course, right? Kamala Harris, the way she campaigned, literally they said flawless on TV, right? What was her face? The news anchor said that on MSNBC, the dark skin woman. Yeah, she said literally a flawless campaign. All swing states lost. All of them lost. She ran a flawless campaign. Anyway, sorry. So they'll say that, but then they also say, yeah, leftists, you screwed us over, right? It's because you didn't vote for us, or because you weren't enthusiastic, or because of whatever, right?
Everything
They'll
but
put that
blame the
on us.
politician.
But then when you like dig in, okay, well, how did we lose the race? Why didn't we vote for you guys, right? Let's talk about this policy that you have, right? Like if this politician had a different policy, well, then they would have gotten more votes. No, that's not true. It can't be the case, right? Like if Kamala Harris, if she wasn't so horrible in Gaza, right, she would have gotten
policy meant nothing.
She would have gotten more votes. On the other side, they'll say, well, no, that wasn't it, right? No one voted on that thing, right? You leftists didn't vote, right? But it wasn't that you didn't vote on Gaza, or there wasn't enough of you to make a difference on the election, right? So it's like you're powerful and you're weak at the same time, right? You're so powerful enough to lose the election, but any of the policies that would have caused you to not vote for us, well, no, those are all popular policies, and there was no reason to address your issues, right? And so there should be no change from that candidate. The candidate's flawless. It's just you didn't vote. Like that. Like
Yeah.
they go back and forth on this.
Yeah, I saw
So
that
it's-
too. They were
it's
saying
actually
that actually
obnoxious.
Trump won because of the economy, and
Mhm.
Palestine, whatever, had no impact at all, totally negligible.
Mhm.
And then the next week, when it's convenient to them, oh well, we lost because you guys didn't vote because of Palestine, because you're obsessed
And
with
then
Palestine.
they bring up like one second they'll bring up Dearborn voters as if leftism or communism or like being as if that wasn't the one one issue that people voted on in Dearborn, right? Because the people in Dearborn, they were like, hey, the way they saw it, it was they were going to either the people who didn't own businesses were just going to vote for Jill Stein, right? They weren't going to vote for Kamala, and then the people who own businesses who would typically vote left because of racism or whatever will said, well, fuck it. If we're not going to get what we want out of the left, at least the right is promising us tax cuts and all this other bullshit. So then, yeah, that did give the vote the Trump to vote.
So
vote to Trump.
they'll say
Jesus.
that they'll say Muslim areas exception, right? And so we don't count those, which means like, okay, Michigan we're going to toss away, right? That's a state we didn't need. So we'll toss that one away. But like the general sentiment is that like, so other than people who are directly affected being Muslims, but not all Muslims are directly affected, but whatever, right? Other than those groups, no one else really cared, so they didn't actually vote on it. Right, but also leftists who've been complaining about exactly this issue the entire time. Right, there wasn't enough of you to actually make a difference. So, why even bring it up? Right, why ask for any sort of policy change? Why ask for the Democratic Party to do fucking anything? So, yeah,
they kind of it is kind of obnoxious that they refuse to hold the candidate for running a horrible campaign. Like Trump ran a great campaign. Did we believe him on everything? No, but like he ran a fucking great campaign.
What was your?
He didn't debate anybody.
He didn't need to.
A great campaign by not campaigning. Then I guess.
I mean, is debating campaigning, or is it just rounding up? Is it just rounding up your constituents?
I go. Well, did you have a question for me before I forget? Did you have a question for me, or it was just a comment before previously?
I don't think I had. No, I said something earlier, but
it was just a comment. Okay, yeah. And then to Lactoid's point, so that I just wanted so we can get onto the topic. Lactoid asked me, like, what do I say to people who say I can't be involved? Well, I mean, it's just liberals, right? Liberals who like corporate Democrats. They like the status quo. The status quo is currently working for them, and they hate that. You understand? Just like how much I despise liberals, and I tell you guys all the time how much I hate them with a burning passion. Liberals also hate me as a leftist the same way, right? In the way that we both don't hate conservatives. Like I like my conservative friends so much more, and I appreciate you all so much more than I do a liberal. Like they are the worst. They feel the same way about me. They are literally the fucking worst. So I tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm gonna be here one way or the other. I'm gonna be making changes, right? I'm gonna be voting for leftist candidates. I'm gonna be voting for socialist candidates. I'm gonna be voting for like ones that pop up, Zoran Mondani types, who pop up whenever I can. Be supporting them, and we're gonna take this party away from them. We're gonna marginalize them the way we've been marginalized. That's the goal. On the other side of it, in terms of those leftists, those leftists actually don't want to be a part of it. Like just like the conversation we're having, they don't actually want to be a part of it at all. But that's only a certain type of leftist. Not all leftists abandon electoralism, right? I'm not. So I guess I take issue with your framing, saying like there are more left than me. I think they have different opinions. I mean, I think they would say also they're more left than me, right? But I reject that framing. I think they have different opinions on what left is and what we should be doing. But more left, like if you think that, okay, back to it again. This is I wish you had seen this conversation. Back to it. Land back. Like the concept in itself, I have no problem with what I had previously heard land back was, right? But the way that was described here, if land back can only be achieved through the dissolution of the United States, and then a federation of like smaller sovereign Indian nations popping up around like the continent, right? If that's the idea, well, fuck, that will never happen. Well, like, and how
and it
could that
should
even
never
be-
happen.
literally, there's how many? There's like a tiny portion of the population left here is Native American. How would that go in terms of governance? Like,
No.
what is the
Well,
idea here? Like,
I heard one
they
that
made it quick to.
Justice is the idea,
Well,
Prime. Justice.
I heard one the other day, and this is how stupid some of these people advocating for this land back thing are. And like were arguing that we should give, like, oh, I hear the joke, give California and Texas back to Mexico. We should revoke the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. I'm like, do you know what would happen if we revoked the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo? We would own all of Mexico up to Mexico City. That would be them giving us our land back that we beat their asses and took. Like, it's just ridiculous. They're like, yeah, we need to do these things. Like, y'all have no like actual policy position that's like based in reality. It's just like, oh, we feel bad. We should do this. Like, it's insanity. And then when you tell them this, they're like, you're evil. You're immoral. I'm like, okay, you can't even present me a policy position that's like somewhat grounded that I can actually like maybe like roll around in my head and play with. Like, I mean, I'm not going to because I'm not going to be sold by the little moral argument. But like, if I was going to pretend to be like, by it, like, you can't even give me something in the world of like real possibilities. Like, it's crazy to me.
So the argument's never enough.
So I guess my final word on this is that I reject the framing that I am not as left, because what it seems to be, right, at least the way I look at it, is that leftism isn't a collection of impractical solutions. Now, you may disagree with that, like. So I'm not going to hold you to that, right? I understand.
Well, I wouldn't just say your brand of leftist is full of impractical solutions, but I get your point. Yeah.
But yeah, like, I think that leftism provides so many things, like actionable ways of making the world a better place. That so many like policy positions, and I like laid out my policy position there, right? I was waiting for other people to do so. So I like laying out. I think within the sphere of leftism, you can lay out fully fleshed policy positions. I think you can have things that are very much grounded and things that can happen, right? Like again, just this one person just said was like really focused on land back, right? This one individual, and their description, right? I'm just going off of their description of the policy. Right? Like, if that's what you're waiting for, then you're saying, oh, I have nothing to offer these people because this is not a package that can ever deliver, right? This is not a policy proposal, a prescription that will ever come into reality. And so we will always fall short of this. And so, like, I don't think that's what leftism is. I think leftism has, mechanisms and policies and just methods to actually accomplish our goals. And I don't think
so. I mean, and just on the background here of why I asked this, because I don't know how there's some conversations occurring within our space about this question, right? So just prior, Wick was having a stream with Connor and Propaganda Barbie, and they were having conversation about if the left is infiltrating. If the left is infiltrating the Democratic Party, right? The communists are infiltrating. This is on the heels of a conversation occurred a couple days ago. Very heated conversation, which people like Destiny, Connor, and these other people, and then also some of the Live and Learn people, I think as well. There's some conflict there regarding this question about whether or not left-wingers should be allowed. Yeah, about whether or not left-wingers should even be allowed within the Democratic Party, or whether they should be
leftists, not left-wingers.
Well, sure, leftists should be included within the Democratic Party. And the thing that's always like struck me as interesting about this is because I don't know what the strategy is. Are they trying to, if they could be trying to bully left-wingers into feeling bad so that they get in line? That could be part of it. The other part of it might actually be we don't want your kind with us. Like, we don't, but it's easy to say when you're not during election time, right? But now that we're off election, where there's not like, the stakes aren't critical, I guess, for the Democratic Party, I think, now is perhaps the time that they're using to try and exclude left-wingers from the Democratic Party,
which is dumb.
And so, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think that would include you, Prime, and I think that would include Ollie, and I think that would include a lot of people. I think probably include Corey. and Doobie and probably a lot of other people who don't fall into this sort of.
Well, I'm not.
centrist
I'm not a
DNC.
Democrat, to be clear.
Sure.
I'm not. Fuck you.
This
I'm a
fall into
registered
this.
independent. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Really fall into this. If you don't fall into this like kind of centrist DNC camp, you don't belong. Which, I mean, I don't know what the electoral effect is. I don't know if left wingers represent a big enough voting bloc to outweigh perhaps potential moderates that you could attract. But
just for the record, I'm not a leftist, but I am one of the people they also don't want, which is someone who's willing to throw away a vote into the name of fascism, right? Like because I didn't vote for Kamala during Israel Palestine, that now I should be ousted from the party because I gave the vote to fascism, rather than once again them looking at their policies, looking at their constituents and what people were voting for and addressing it. So like I am part of the group as well, but honestly, fuck them, because I'm kind of sick of the what is the pragmatic logical argument where I hear like, no, look, these policies are amazing while people are living lives that don't agree with these. Like the economists say that everything's amazing while people are living in fucking torment. Like it's getting kind of annoying when all I hear is no, democratic policies are so good when even as I see no benefit. Right. And that to the Republicans' point, right? Even if Trump was lying about everything, the idea is still that Republicans are better for business. And if there's going to be business owners in this country who are voting Democrat for their own moral feels, if they don't have that to even vote on, they're going to vote Republican for the financial and the fiscal benefits. I mean, it just makes sense.
Oh, this is a good segue into the main
Democrats
topic.
lost. Republicans didn't win. Democrats lost.
So I completely agree. I 100% agree with that last statement. Fuck, there's one last thing I was going to say before moving on. Fuck. Trump. I lost it. But yeah,
Voting for fascism,
Oh, no,
giving
no,
up
no,
your
no, I remember.
vote.
I remember what I was going to say. I was going to say that what we're just seeing is just an interesting, a nascent fight between within the Democratic Party, right? We see obviously it happened on the Republican side, right? When Donald Trump came in, there was a fight between the classic conservatives, for lack of a better word, right? Well, corporate conservatives, maybe, I don't know, whatever, right? But just the run-of-the-mill conservatives, what's his face, Bush, Jeb Bush, yeah, Jeb Bush, representing the traditional wing, and then the emerging MAGA, right? There was a fight, and MAGA won decisively on that one, right? This is what happens in parties, especially when parties aren't in power, is a fight for the identity, and that's what's happening right now. They understand the stakes, right? Those liberals on the other side, they get the stakes, and so they are adamant on expelling us. But they can only makes sense if you think that your ideas are ascendant. All the polling shows Democrats, the party in itself, right, has never been in in recent memory, has not been in a worse shape. The brand of the Democrats is in the toilet. The policies to offer, Democrats have nothing. They literally have nothing. They have nothing.
No one.
Their only plan is to say that we aren't Donald Trump. That's all they have to offer. And so if that is the state of play for Democrats, if you've got nothing, and then you compare that to what's happening in New York with Mom Donnie, right? So understanding that my conservative friends don't agree with them, but you can see the political energy behind this individual, right? The excitement within the party, the massive amount of support that came out for him, and then others like him around the country. You can see that who is the face of the younger generation in the Democratic Party? That's AOC, right? Who stands for everything that they're against, right? Bernie Sanders, again, that's where all the energy has been. You can only your ideology, liberal ideology, only makes sense if these people don't exist. If that energy isn't there, if it isn't real. But if that's real, and if that's where all the energy is, well then you are duping your party to extinction, because obviously if you can't service this this cohort of individuals who are excited about these types of candidates, then they won't come vote no matter what corporate Democrat, no matter how a black, gay, or female they are in the future, right? No matter like what checklist you hit, right? It's not going to make up for it. Sorry, it's not going to do it. So Kamala wanted to win. She made it. Maybe would have rethought, slaughtering kids in Gaza. Fuck her. Yeah, that's my thought.
Or at least learn to pander better, right? If at the very least lie better, right? Like learn the pandering game. You only had a few weeks, months, whatever, to fucking get elected. You don't come in, bring the DNC, and plug your ears in Detroit, and then bring whoever the fuck she did to talk about fucking Judea and Samaria. Like it's pander better. Learn to talk. And that was my point, Corey, is that like Trump didn't need to debate. He talked to his base and he convinced them that he was going to do what they wanted to do, what they wanted him to do. And that's all it takes. That's what an election is. The debate means nothing.
Well,
if the base votes for him in the debate and he didn't do the debates, then
I would say that's more a reflective of the mindset of like the cult-like sort of worship of Trump, essentially, like that.
Unfortunately,
what
man? That's unfortunately, man. That's what politics is. I'm kind of sick of like the idea that politics is about policy. It's really just about getting your base up.
No,
it is
disagree.
vibes. Most of the voters are based on vibes.
Oh, y'all just said that. Like he ran a good campaign and he didn't debate, which is crazy because I distinctly remember him giving Biden the knockout blow at a debate. Like
I was referring to the primary, as in, from what I understand, generally speaking, historically, when you're not the incumbent, as in you're trying to outseat Joe Biden, like you go through Republican candidates and select one, and there's a primary process, and he bypassed that. I don't know how common that is, but from what I understand, in my recent memory, that's not all that common.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know about that. Do you have to have a debate to become the incumbent? I don't know.
Well, clearly not. But just like you don't have to release your tax returns, but obviously Trump did not.
I mean, part of it is though he had basically a stand-in though. Like Vivek was basically Trump, like light in the debates. Like if you wanted to argue against his policies, you would just argue against Vivek in the debates, and then so Vivek would have to get his feet dirty, and then Trump was just sitting here like high and dry, like oh yeah, all my policies you argued with Vivek. Like it was kind of brilliant because he didn't have to risk anything because he was already the big name. He had the support already. His only challengers were
my point. Like he's literally not out there, and they're still lashed onto him.
He was going around doing okay, so yeah, he's not doing the establishment
thing.
Doing
speeches though.
But he's out there doing okay, we're gonna have a giant rally with 40,000 people in a stadium, and it's like an event versus okay, you're gonna go sit with a bunch of old donors who didn't give me any money in the first place, or basically the group of people that all these people are mad at. They're saying this is the uniparty. He's like, why would he go and basically give these people legitimacy whenever he's already got it? But just by going, it would have hurt him. I don't disagree with this tactic on the debate in the primary, the kind of thing. I think he did the right move.
All right, so let's get started with the actual topic, which I promised quite a while ago. Things kind of escalated from there. That was my own fault, though. I did that. But KO Dave, you're in our VC here. Our friend JB wanted to bring you in, but we need you in the StreamYard. So he sent you a link. KO Dave, you can hear me?
Yes. Where's the link? Where did he send the link at?
I
DM'd it to you.
DM'd it?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
And use that, then I put you on screen. Okay, so let me read the topic, and we'll get to it. All right. As we move into midsummer, let's check in to see how the country is at large, and more specifically, the economy is doing under Trump. Are you satisfied with Trump's performance? Is the country significantly in a better shape under Trump? Do you think the U.S. is more respected internationally, which was a promise of Trump's? Do you have any confidence that Trump's remaining 3.5 years will be prosperous from seeing how he has done so far? So, this, we've had interspersed conversations about Trump's performance here. They're like embedded in other conversations that other topics, but I wanted to do something more specifically. And so yeah, how are we feeling? Is it looking good? Are you excited? Do you see a lot of hope? Do you think that the needs of your communities are being met, right? And do you think his he's meeting his campaign promises so far? Obviously, it's only not even a full year has passed, so keep that in mind. So just kind of like do a check in with that and see what you all are thinking. So we'll start with our friend Lactoid and work our way down.
Yeah, I think Trump has more or less been holding to his promises, right, for better or for worse. He's been very hard when it comes to immigration. Um, when it comes to the economy, he's been kind of following along the lines of tariffs, unfortunately. But he has been, I think, consistent with the general kind of protectionist image that he wants to push, but inconsistent with how he's pushing it. It seems like it is very kind of unpredictable right now. Right, we'll have kind of like something right now, and then a week from now, the rules will entirely change. Right, specifically, he's talking about it was 50 days that he was going to tariff Russia, then it was 10 days, and now apparently the tariffs are going to go on India because of they're buying Russian oil, and then he was going to tariff the EU, but then they came to a deal, which was a pretty good deal from what I understand. But the 600 million, something around there, or 600 billion. But they're still hashing out some of the details about that. There was a Japan deal, a South Korea deal, all for hundreds and billions of dollars, and a few other countries as well that have all come to deals with the U.S. Promising some kind of investment in the U.S. Which, I mean, how this will overall affect the U.S. economy is really difficult to say right now. If the money that's invested in the U.S. gives us growth that outpaces the negative effect of tariffs generally, that could be good. And if the money raised by the tariffs offsets any kind of deficit increase from lowering taxes, that could also be good. And then those lower taxes could also further facilitate growth. Apparently in June, and the numbers for July haven't come out yet, but in June we had a budget surplus because of the tariffs. Brought in more money than we had thought that they otherwise would. If that trend holds, there's no guarantee that it will, but if that trend does hold and it keeps going and we start realizing that, wow, we're bringing in a lot of money from tariffs, a lot more than we thought. I mean, perhaps he won't be such a deficit, president that people were criticizing him for being because of the big beautiful bill. Then of course the criticism can be just because tariffs have negative economic growth, but who knows how strictly he's going to hold those tariffs because he's giving people deals if they invest in the U.S. and then he's lowering tariffs. Obviously not all the way down to where they were before, but still lowering tariffs. So I don't know what the plan's going to be a year from now. I think Trump is doing that intentionally, which I think is a criticism of him to some extent.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go to our friend.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I know we want to go into economics, but I'm gonna start with a non-economic thing first. We're going to, I gotta say, Trump has done outstanding. Big fan. He's over here killing it. I love how secure the border has gotten. Like, crime is just like decreased in droves down here. My property has been not damaged recently. A lot of the issues I voted for, I have seen real change, which is exactly what I wanted. Economically, Sociologic mentioned this earlier. The Dems told us the economy was the best it's ever been. Things are great, all these things, and then it felt like shit everywhere you went. It was awful. It was like you're clearly lying to us. You can be the most smooth-brained individual, and you just could tell it was bad. And now it feels like there's optimism. It feels like things are changing for the better. Tariffs seem to have brought money in. I haven't seen this economic windfall. And even when people are like, oh, the economy is doing bad, or oh, this is bad, it's happening, it's like I'm seeing 10 other things saying, well, it's gonna do bad because well, this risk. Like the other day, I sent one. I'm sure iCal was going to bring this up. He goes, oh, it's a danger of a long tail a curve or something, long tail risk. And I was like, oh, really? So I'm reading the article that I sent, and they're complaining about how a boom is a bad thing. And I'm just like, are we really to the point that economic booms are bad? Like, is this the idea? Like, if we're really sitting here saying economic booms are bad, then, you know, you're just not believable. And I got to say, maybe we mentioned this a little bit earlier. It's not that Trump won, but it's the Dems lost, is what somebody said earlier. And Prime said he agreed. Well, I got to say, it's also that he whooped that ass. And now the Dems have an all-time high approval rating of 8%. Nobody wants to be a Dem. The Dems are terrible. It's been a cultural shift nationwide. Like, literally, what are they for right now? What is the Democratic Party for right now? Oh, well, they hate hot women. They hate fucking the Jews. They hate Americans. They hate the country. They want to give it all back to these other people. And they want to sit here and take your vote away from you with illegal immigrants and, you know, have these people here on the census. And guess what? We're kicking them out. And Americans love all of these things. It's 80-20. Trump's dominating, and he's going to continue to dominate.
I love the Jews. The Jews?
I mean, listen, Jews got money. I like Jews. They're rich.
They love all these things.
Yeah, we like these things, bro.
And they love hot women. And
we love hot women. Have you seen Sydney Sweeney? Oh, fantastic.
Overrated.
Well,
literally looks.
Well, listen, no offense, Corey, but I think you might be biased against her, considering you're not a fan of women in general. I think, right? Like, that's not really your type.
I'm heterosexual, but I don't really care what you
never
think
mind
of
it.
me, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you weren't. My bad. I apologize. That wasn't actually supposed to be a dunk or anything.
No, you don't need to apologize.
Yeah, my bad. Well, never mind. Ignore what I just said.
Sure. Well, I won't ignore what Corey just said. And no, Sydney Sweeney is a fucking hottie.
Yeah, she's a bad bitch.
That's the worst take you've given here, Corey.
Mm-hmm.
I will debate you anytime. That's it.
I
That's
don't
the topic.
think she's that good looking.
No, overrated
at all, actually.
Okay. What?
Goddess.
Like,
Goddess.
Did you watch Euphoria? I don't know how she got famous over Maddie. I don't know. Like
because she's hot as fuck.
Blonde hair.
She's good looking. Like, I'm not gonna say she's ugly.
She's literally Aphrodite in the flesh. It's okay.
Yeah, no, she's not ugly, but
literally Aphrodite is
Doobie, what have you been
She's
saying?
a base Republican also.
Doobie. No, she's not. What? No.
I said she looks like a sloth.
Republican.
Yeah, she voted for Republican. She's a registered Republican and likes shooting guns. That's based.
A sloth.
Like, you know the guy from I think it's the guy from
Zootopia.
No, Zootopia, but also there's a movie where where that fucking squirrel's chasing an acorn. You know
Ice Age?
Ice Age.
Ice Age. She looks like the fucking guy there with the eyes really far apart. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my god!
Like, there's just something wrong with her eyes. I don't know what the fuck it is.
This is wow. Okay, the left is okay. Maybe Democrats, I don't like it. Leftists, okay, leftists love.
We even established you're a liberal. You're not leftist.
I'm not a fucking liberal. Oh my god. Wow. Okay. Bad opinions all around. Quite a shame.
I mean, hey, like, just to prove Sydney Sweeney's hot, look at American Eagle sales numbers, and then look at like comparable companies that have put these shims with like purple hair. Like, nobody wants those people. Nobody wants to buy those products.
Weird. I'm not gonna lie. When we get into the conversation of she made white being also the guy from the Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm not even
the guy from the Dunkin' Donuts ad make it cool to be a white guy, but you have to be a tan white guy, right? Because like if you look at the color spectrum.
Listen, it's okay to be hot again. Make America sexy again, folks. That's what we're doing. We're bringing sexy women back.
It's weird that Laxwhite wasn't
sexy and white. Sexy and white again. It's okay to be both.
It's okay to be both again.
There was a point in time apparently where white women went out of style. Okay, whatever.
You're black pride. This doesn't count to you. It doesn't apply to you.
Yeah. You couldn't be the you couldn't be the typical hot
years with a same race relationship.
Well, you couldn't be a hot white woman.
Are you kidding me?
That's the commercial's fault.
You literally every commercial had a Thimby in it. Every commercial had a Thimby, not a hot white woman. It was a Thimby. It was something bad.
Whatever.
Stocks up. You guys got the Nelk boys, so your stock went up. There you go. You're good. White boy summer.
This is what happens. See, like both sides are in the deep delusions, right? Lactoid and Gibbs think like, oh, now it's okay to be a white person all of a sudden.
Wait,
right?
sexy.
For the first
And
time-
sexy,
That was
sexy
legal.
white.
It's a sexy white person.
It's been
right?
hard out
They-
here as a
those
sexy
people
white man.
have been
They used to all be
oppressed, right?
fat. Yeah.
All of a sudden, they didn't appear on TV.
14-year-old
Sexy white
person.
people.
Let-
But we find.
Yeah, so
But we find.
let me
Well-
just remember the controversy initially. People tried to make this about something else, but the controversy initially, as I understand it, is that the
Brad.
commercial redoes the old Brooke Shields commercial, which was a 14-year-old
Yeah.
doing all that sexy talk. All right.
No,
Which
the
was more
I
issue.
mean,
problem.
and then doing the little Nazi leg thing at the end, which I never understood back in the day.
Nazi
But,
leg thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, yeah. She
Wait, did
she-
Beyonce
she
do
does
the
her-
Nazi leg thing when she did the
after
same
talking
exact
about the
pose?
superiority of genetics, after talking about the superiority of genetics,
Beyonce did the exact same pose.
Was
Yeah,
it a SWAT?
exactly.
Was it
But
SWAT?
Yeah,
he's
that's what I'm
saying
talking
what
about.
the
They're
interpretation
hunting
is. He's not
ghosts.
saying
Yeah,
he
you're not-
agrees with the
You're not
interpretation.
listening.
He's saying
You
that's what the
you just heard
interpretation
the
is.
opposite of what I said. It was Brooke Shields who did the pose, who,
Mhm.
after talking about the superiority of her genetics, puts her legs in the shape of a swastika. Like, just watch it again, and you
Okay.
can see it very easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I don't understand, like, I'm all for showing, Sweeney in sexy poses. Like, I have no problem with that. Although I saw a montage of conservatives talking about Sydney Sweeney months ago, talking
didn't like
attacking
it.
her as a vapid woman that
Mhm.
liberals all
No,
love.
that was just
Yeah.
hold on. That was
Now-
just the
now they're
ortho bros.
flipping because
It's different now.
And they're
flipping
basically
because
gay,
they
so-
defend the Brooke Shields. She was 14 years old when she did that, by the way. It became a big
Yeah.
controversy. We heard about it all throughout the 1980s about how exploitive it was. And so for American Eagle this is another Mott and Bailey, right? Like what people were objecting to was the Brooke Shields 14 years old kind of thing that they were emulating. And then but that wasn't what they wanted the debate to be about. So they made it about something else. That was the Bailey. Like it was crazy.
It
Strange.
happens every every other
Uh,
year at a certain point.
remember when Hardy Jr. had hot chicks on
We
there?
had the H&M. We had the H&M coolest monkey in the jungle. Then we had the Gucci minstrel face mask, right? The minstrel ski mask. And then afterwards we had the Balenciaga pedophile the pedophile
Balenciaga.
case. The pedophile case in the photography for the kids. It's just like every few years, these companies look at the state of what's going on, and right now we're talking about like Israel, Palestine, Judea. Right? They clearly went with something that's like the
here we go.
symbolism behind it was a bit insane. I think they did it on purpose.
Oh,
I don't think they're
yeah.
actual. I don't think American Eagle are Nazis or we're trying to push a Nazi like agenda. I think that like anyone who was in the advertising committee to talk could look at that ad and be like, hey, maybe for the times this isn't the greatest thing ever. Kind of like the H&M ad where the
here we
coolest monkey in the jungle, that photo was shot in Sweden, right? They weren't trying to do the thing, or the Gucci face ski mask.
No, a
thing.
better comparison.
It is just
Hold
like-
on, a better
oh my God.
comparison would be
I don't
with
think they
like
did it on
hold on.
purpose,
The
but
better
just, like,
comparison is
fucking read
Nike
the room.
with the "Let Her Cook" campaign, and they put it on the WNBA. That's like, oh, we're trying to be edgy, and you just said, oh, put WNBA players back in the kitchen. That's an actual fuck up. This is this is not like that. They were like, hot bitch, put her in jeans. If jeans are passed down, and y'all like
blonde
oh,
hair,
God.
blue-eyed.
Oh,
my jeans
so
are
no,
perfect.
so no
Right
blonde
now,
hair, blue-eyed
yeah,
person
yeah.
can be.
I'm sorry,
this is
Lactoid,
what
but,
I'm
like,
talking about.
I don't
No
think- I don't
blonde
think- I
hair,
don't think
blue-eyed
pro
person.
Aryan is the
No,
time
hold on,
right
hold
now.
on. No blonde hair, blue-eyed person can ever be
I don't
happy
think-
about
yeah,
their
I don't think
jeans.
Aryan
It's
is being
ridiculous.
promoted right
No,
now.
but that's Ollie. Listen. Are you happy with your jeans? Like you're happy, right?
Me?
You can be prideful.
I'm
This-
Lebanese. I'm big sexy.
Yeah.
We're
So okay,
happy
cool.
over here.
So just because somebody's
go.
blonde and blue-eyed and say, "Oh, I take pride in my genetics," suddenly
No,
that's Nazi. That's so
You missed what I said.
ridiculous.
You
Oh,
missed
it's
what I
so
said. You missed what I said.
ridiculous.
I don't
Please,
think the
gotta be
actual
passive.
advertisers are like
gotta be
Nazis. I'm just saying, read the fucking
Gotta be
room, right? Maybe don't put the black kid in the
Guys,
coolest monkey in the jungle and
guys,
then put him on
guys,
the ad. Maybe don't do
guys.
that.
We can boil
I
this
think they should
down
double
to,
down,
hey,
and they did.
Philosophers, advertisers, like controversy, and they drum it up to get money, right? The person who came up with that ad is going to get an award, right? They got like advertiser awards. They're gonna
Yeah,
get a
that's what I'm
fucking award,
saying.
right? Because my fucking feed was filled with analyses from people on the
Mhm.
left and some on the right on the Sydney Sweetie jeans, right? So mission fucking accomplished. Stock went up, right? People talking about it nonstop. Like they own the news cycle for a fucking week. That's the end of it. That's like crazy, right? I didn't even. Oh my god. So anyway, guys, let's. I know this is topical, and
give the people what they want. Prime,
desperately wants to defend the honor of white women, because again, white women were put in the closet previously, and only now is it safe for white women to be seen on the streets.
No, and this is why I want to talk to Lactoid about the Arkansas City
white women. Okay,
yeah,
are you moving to Arkansas, Lactoid? Just a question. Are you moving to Arkansas, Lactoid?
But Prime, do you remember the Hardee's Jr. commercials? Do you remember the Hardee's Jr. commercials? And they always had the hot blonde chicks on there. And they canceled those. They stopped doing those because there was so much outrage because of wokeness. It was such a big. It has been a war on white blonde women for a while now. Like literally, it's literally been. This is a big part of the culture war. This is why the Dims keep losing. Y'all hate white women. Y'all hate hotties. Y'all hate fucking the Jews. Y'all hate all these things. This is a real thing. This is the left. This is your. This is your platform. I like Latinas too. This is y'all's platform that y'all are running on. Y'all's platform is all hate with no actual policy, and y'all go, "Why are we losing?"
Literally, AOC is a standard bearer for young Democrats,
and she's fat as shit now. Oh well, she lost her looks. Like
fat as shit.
She didn't lose her looks.
She's about as big as me now, bro. She looks like a house.
Oh my god, whatever,
brother.
It's terrible, bro. She was the one hottie y'all had, and now she's like looks like fucking Manfred Mann.
I never found her attractive.
Say she's hideous, right? Because that's what he thinks about attractive women.
No, AOC is attractive.
She looks like a heifer now, fam. She looks like a heifer now.
Make no mistake, Sydney Sweeney is attractive, but she's I said overrated, as in like she's
overrated.
No,
crazy.
She's
more attractive than that. The soap thing is weird though.
No. That's
you gotta stop.
Why isn't? Well, actually, I'm not exactly sure.
It's degenerate.
I'm actually really curious where Scott would fall on this, because it's clearly like good old fashioned American capitalism, right? And I back it. So someone has to defend capitalism.
Of course. Do you have a bar? Do you have a bar in your house?
AOC is one taco away from becoming a gordita. Let me tell you that, bro. Like,
you abandon capitalism.
Enough with these bathwater products.
Wait, hold on. She talked about this. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about this, but now you guys keep talking about it. It makes me want to talk about it.
Because this is the important issue.
This is what Trump's agenda's gotten us to.
Thank God.
Gibbs, I specifically did not make this the topic because I thought it was a worthless topic. But now here we are. Hold on.
You're welcome.
You got to stop picking topics for the group, Prime, because you do this thing where you pick a topic and none of us ever talk about the topic.
Yeah, well, I mean, but this is related to the topic. Trump has brought back greatness to America, and all y'all want to do is
that's why we have the all-white city in Arkansas that Lactoid is moving to. That's what I wanted to talk about.
We haven't talked about that either, but
there's a lot of spiders in Arkansas.
We can talk about the all-white city. Yeah, don't worry, we got Lactoid back, so we can talk about that later on.
A lot of spiders.
Spiders.
But there will also be no black people or gays surrounding you. So like, how do you feel about that?
I'm sure there's going to be gays.
A lot of spiders, but no black people.
Anybody that uses beard oil is slightly gay. That's all I gotta say about that.
Look.
Whoa.
Look. Attractive women have always been in vogue. They've never not been in vogue. That's how we sell everything. There's still attractive women. It's never stopped being the case, right? Yes, you saw a few more. There was a Lamborghini ads. Was it Lamborghini or was it the other one?
And the Bud Light ads.
It was a Jaguar. Jaguar had the
Jaguar, yeah.
The Jaguar ads, right? Like you get a few outliers. The only reason why that made news, like that made headlines, was because it was so fucking weird. Because otherwise, what do I get? I get a fucking high to sell whatever it is I'm trying to sell. That's how you do it. That's how we always have done it, and that's how it. Well, as long as I'm around, it'll be the only thing that attracts me. But okay, Sydney Sweeney in the bathwater. Okay, let me just touch on this, and we can move on to the actual goddamn topic. Okay, all right. Sydney Sweeney.
He's not gonna let you.
Sydney Sweeney in the bathwater. She talked about, like in previous interviews, how like
I bought that
she-
soap.
She felt that her, of course she did.
'Cause-
I didn't.
She's hot.
No, she's not hot.
And that's a damn good reason. That's a fine red blood American
That's
reason to
right.
buy a product. Good work, sir. Right?
Amen.
Good work. But anyway, she talked about how like she felt she had no control of her sexuality, right? Meaning talking about how within the or how she was sexualized, I should say. How within the Euphoria, right? She was clearly sexualized there, and she like allowed that because that was for her
Them
job, right?
titties were
the
tittying
way-
in Euphoria.
Oh my god! Yeah, yes.
Man,
But
God bless.
like the way people treated her online, right, was like horrible, right? Like a lot of conservative men who love her now, right, were like saying really fucking awful things about her, right? The
Mhm.
fact that her titties were out there, the fact that she was attractive, it was in like sexual like scenes in there, right? Like literally the right was the ones that were the worst to her. During that, not exclusively, but they were the worst to her that entire time, right? And then she's like, "Hey, like I don't have the control of the way I'm sexualized." But then she's like, "All right, well, if I'm going to be sexualized, I might as well lean into it." And so she goes and she capitalizes.
She exploits
with,
losers with
backwater.
soap.
With the bat. Hold on.
Yeah, Gibbs.
Capitalism. It's capitalism.
I'm
It's
exploited. She can
capitalism.
exploit me. She can
Capitalism.
exploit me in all the many different ways she wants to. Let me tell you.
Exactly right.
Oh
Yeah.
my
so,
God.
so she provides a product, right, that is based off
It's a
of
bad
her
product.
looks, her attraction, and then it.
She's the product.
It outsells.
It's a product nonetheless,
Lactoid.
Lactoid.
Black tar heroin sells Prime.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yes,
product.
maybe it should
It's
be
a
legal.
That, it's a good product. It's got built-in addiction. That sells itself.
It fails the goals of the users. What are you talking about? Yeah, if you want to get high, black tar heroin is the way to do it.
No,
But don't take drugs.
hold on.
Don't-
I can
hold on,
exist
hold
within
on.
capitalism and discourage use of black tar heroin. Okay.
Hold on, you're telling me
I
a
got freedom of speech.
Hold on, Troy. Are you
Hold
telling me
on,
if
yeah,
Sydney
hold on,
Sweeney was like, "Hey, tap up, I'll smash"? You wouldn't be like, "Let me tap that black tar heroin." You're gonna be like, "Yeah, let me try it."
you can.
I'm not buying the fucking soap, Gibbs.
I'm
It's
saying-
weird. Why would
I'm
people buy that
saying-
shit?
Why not?
Because look,
'Cause she's
I'm
hot.
saying that as long as it's a product one that doesn't actually hurt anyone. All right, Lactoid, it doesn't have, or it
I don't
costs.
agree with
You know what
that.
it costs? It costs like an expensive bar of soap, right?
Well,
If
that's
you
'cause you're a
manage
communist,
that, right,
Lactoid.
then you'll be okay
Yeah.
in life.
Oh,
Okay,
it
great.
drags men down
Whatever,
deeper to this
whatever,
depravity.
Whatever. Expect. Oh, the
You drove a motorcycle, you're
titties-
depraved.
whatever titties pins men down, right? And they can't get up. When will men ever have a chance?
It's
right?
false
When will the
titties.
Asian
You're just
men
buying a
ever
bar of
begin-
soap.
Okay,
That's all that's
whatever.
happening.
but the point is
Yeah,
that
it makes you
now
feel
gays
closer
are
to her
controlled,
mentally.
Well, no,
all
we're
right?
saying
Subconsciously
thank you to the
subconsciously,
company.
when you're rubbing your body, you feel like you're nestled upon her bosom.
You were
Also
saying thank you to the
fetishizing-
company for putting us in this ad so you can
fetishizing
check
her
her
body
out.
the entire time, and now she's monetizing that, and
For
now
the
it's
record,
not
Lactoid,
okay.
I agree
now
with
when
you.
she monetizes it, when she gets a piece of the pie, right? Lactoid's got a problem with it. He was okay, right?
Because
When
Yeah.
that
Lactoid
titties
isn't
are on
getting a
your
piece of
boy,
that
that's
pie.
right,
That's right,
He's
Prime.
like a communist.
He was
Tell him,
okay
Prime.
because titties are out there, right?
Preach.
But now when
wouldn't have
she
white women
actually
without
Did she
white
not
men.
make money off that movie?
Preach
She's not
on,
getting
Prime.
paid.
Enough Euphoria?
It's a TV series. When you,
Yeah,
when
Oh,
she made a ton
sorry.
of money.
she was making when she's able to take it control, now Lactoid's got an issue.
Oh, when she can
now
take,
that's-
when she can make
Like,
even
how's she
more
taking
money
control now? Like,
off,
what do you
off
mean?
of like horny men. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Oh well, hey, maybe.
How is she taking control now versus then? Like,
Well,
what's
I
the
want to know.
difference?
Hold on, Lactoid. Why is it
because-
that it's but she's taking advantage of horny men? Why is it that these men are not accountable for their own actions? I'm a horny man. Guess what? I bought that soap. You know why? Thank you, company.
I know,
Hold on,
yes,
hold
yeah,
on.
but you
Thank
did
you. Hold on. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? Hold on, hold on. Hold on.
Talking about the bottom of
You
the
have- you
barrel.
feel the
with
rapper?
the-
Hold on,
the-
hold on.
the-
Thank you to that
other
company
people
for
who
using
support
hot
or
Sydney
someone like
Sweeney
Sydney
as an
Sweeney would
ad person.
recognize them.
Listen, these hold on. Y'all are missing a bigger thing. We need to reward
the rapper, dude.
Hold on. We need to reward these companies for using these hotties, right? That's what you do. They put a hottie on there. Cool. I want more of that. I'm tired of going and seeing some fat, ugly ogre that's sitting here trying to sell me some bullshit every other product. I want my hot blondes back on my fucking product.
Literally-
I want
and
my ring
literally-
girls girls. I don't want a ring dude. I want a ring
Why not
girl.
just buy her
Like I want to
spit,
fucking.
kids? Why not?
Why
Just rub
not?
it
I
in
don't
the
know.
forehead.
Maybe let's
Why
do it.
not?
You will.
Why not?
Sure.
Well,
What do you
use
mean?
bathwater.
Why not?
Why not?
I got the money to waste. I got the
to
money to waste. Why not? You know what?
Yeah, if you,
This is not conducive to a healthy life.
How do you know? This is capitalism. Why are you such a socialist?
Wait. Lecter, are you unaware of the types of products that are sold on the internet that people purchase?
Money they earn, right? Now,
I criticize a lot of
The
it.
government does it, right?
Lactoid.
Now,
What's
a
your
private
prescription
individual
here?
wants to use his money.
Don't buy or don't sell.
Right? If a
Lactoid-
illegal product, then Lactoid's got an issue with it. Now all of a sudden we can't do it
No.
anymore. Lactoid, we
Wait,
see
what's his
through you.
prescription?
You're the most socialist person on this
The
planet.
Lactoid. No, what's crazy is
to not buy or to
Lactoid is
not sell. I just want to know. Lactoid
No.
is your
Lactoid is
prescription that
actively
people shouldn't
proposing
buy
that
or
from.
people shouldn't be able to sell.
No. What he's
What is
actually
your
proposing is
prescription?
more
I will give you
insidious.
I will give you my prescription.
Okay,
I
let's
wouldn't
hear it.
ban the sale of it because
That's
I'm
all
not
that
a big.
fucking matters.
Hold up, because I'm not a big government tyrant. Okay, but
I
I
don't
put
believe that.
this. I put this in the same category as I do
It's
gambling,
Oh.
black
It's
tar,
bad decision.
Base.
very good.
Base.
Black tar
Motorcycle is a
heroin,
bad decision.
black tar heroin.
It's conducive to a healthy lifestyle. Motorcycle.
I completely disagree. Hold on, wait, hold on. Get Corey.
Anything about Trump in the past 6
So we
months.
might be able to disagree on the empirics of motorcycling, but you understand the concept. I'm guessing that you're not in favor of criminalizing motorcycles, but you criticize people who buy one, don't you?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Okay, so I can criticize people who spend their money, their
but
hard-earned money,
I
buying
can
soap
because of
with
No,
bathwater in
no.
it because they're gooners
No.
and they can't like.
Hold
come on, dude. Like,
Okay,
do you know
I
much
got-
better
no.
things you could be focused on in
Worse.
life other than
No,
Sydney
yeah, because
Sweeney's
you know what
bathwater stuff?
your
Remember
outcome
when
leads.
Bell
Hold on.
Delphine did
You know
this?
what your
That was fucking weird,
hold on,
too.
Lactoid. You know what your outcome leads
sold
to?
her actual
Your
bathwater,
your outcome leads to people that look like me
Put her
strapping
pussy
on a
into it.
wig and going and putting all products and everything. Why do you want a bunch of fat thimbies on every fucking piece of product going out there? I, for one,
didn't
hold on,
say I
no.
did.
That is what you want.
Fat
No,
thimbies
that's
everywhere.
actively what you're advocating for right now because you're going, oh my God, men can't control their horniness. Let's not put hot chicks on products because I'm a baby back bitch. Like,
will be
that's what you're
judged.
arguing. Good. I hope I am. And I don't give a fuck.
Behavior.
Yeah, this is baby back bitch behavior. Like, how are you going to go, oh my God, I hate looking at titties? This is why America's falling right now.
Yeah,
Because
oh,
of people like
yeah,
Lactoid.
that's
What is
like
more
the accurate
American?
translation here.
What is more
I don't
American?
look at titties.
Listen,
Yeah.
hold on.
Do you-
What is more
okay.
American than
I'm
going
Criticize
home and
OnlyFans
is you
chicks and
win
getting
the
the same
football
idea.
game and you go home and fuck the prom queen?
Gibbs.
This guy wants to go fuck, like, I don't know what he wants to fuck, a cow, I guess. I don't know. But, like, I'm talking about fucking the prom queen. We need to get back to that, America. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Lactoid, how are you not in the same category as Gibbs? Ultimately, okay, Gibbs
crazy.
buys the soap because it makes him feel good. How is that not different than you and riding a motorcycle?
I'll explain. You might put these two things as comparable, or you might even put the motorcycle thing as worse. Okay. Ultimately, like the level of depravity associated with any particular product is going to be like an individual subjective decision. What I'm saying is there's like two kinds of people. Okay, it's like a little bit of a heuristic going on, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. There's the kind of people that are normal, well-adjusted job havers that ride motorcycles. And then there is the other group of people, which are these gremlin men that are primarily hiding in basements.
Wait,
who have
Gibbs,
OnlyFans.
Gibbs has a job. Doesn't he have a job?
For now, but he's falling. He is falling down into the pit,
No,
the
wait,
basement pit, where he's going to turn into a green skin gremlin, where he has OnlyFans subscriptions, buys bathwater soap.
One question, Lactoid. What is a higher mortality rate, buying soap or riding a motorcycle?
I just
don't know what that has to do with
Lactoid, you're
I don't know
prescribing.
what that has to do with my
No,
point.
but Lactoid, hold on, Lactoid. You're prescribing like, okay, these are like, cultural prescriptions. What I'm prescribing is cultural prescriptions too. I want these companies to use hot chicks. Therefore, if I see a hot chick and I like the product, I'll buy the product. What you're doing is going, oh, this is bad. And what we do is we get some kind of like androgynous, like Bimby kind of person put on there. That's what you want. That's what it's. Yeah, we're not getting.
That's not what I want. I want my soap unbranded.
That's what you want. You want like cool. Do you just want like logos with words up there? Then that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Why is it bad to want hot chicks on there? Bro? Like
that says soap with a side. That's what he's looking for.
I'd be cool with that. Okay, I'd be cool with that. Old Spice maybe was okay. All right.
Old Spice is because it doesn't have hot women. He doesn't want hot women products, right? So as long as
he doesn't have a problem with Old Spice having shirtless Jack dudes on there, though. He likes shirtless Jack dudes on his products.
I gotta clarify something, dude. Gibbs. Are you telling me that like when you went and bought the bathwater soap in your mind was like, I believe this is a superior
Well,
cleaning
Well,
product.
no,
I
no,
believe that this
no.
is
What
gonna
I
make you
did was
smell
I go,
better
oh,
than
great value
alternative
soap or
options.
whatever soap, like Revlon, whatever. Or hey, this one's got a hot bitch on it. Okay, we're gonna
This
take
is
the
just some cheap soap that they put. Like, come on,
bro.
did they
Soap
actually
is
even put
soap.
regular
It's soap
bathwater, or
is
is the whole
soap.
thing a scam?
Hold
Oh,
on.
who gives a
I- we
shit?
don't-
It's
we don't-
soap.
Hold on. What? Hold on. Well, when I'm evaluating Zest or fucking Irish Spring, what am I evaluating on its cleaning ability or the fact that one smells better than the other? Right? What the fuck? That's
Yeah,
literally
smelling is relevant to a cleaning product.
Hold on. Well, how it makes
Am I
you
wrong?
feel, how it makes you feel
Yeah.
is also relevant, right? Like if
Yeah,
you
how did it make you
That's right.
feel?
feel good, if you feel clean, right?
You ride a
How
motorcycle.
can it make you feel clean?
It's trying to make.
You
I'm
should
trying to
feel
feel
dirty after using that soap.
Literally ask us to clean. Look, Lactoid. Like, but I like how Lactoid tries to dodge Corey's question.
Yeah.
You're muted.
I don't
Lactoid,
see
you're
how it's
muted.
relevant to the point.
Lactoid,
No,
you're
it is.
muted.
You don't see it, okay? But you have no leg to stand on because you criticize Gibbs's purchasing habit. It mirrors exactly yours in a motorcycle. It is a poor decision, but you have no leg to stand on.
Hold on, wait.
It doesn't-
on the bar of soap, it makes you feel like you need a shower. That's
yeah,
how it works.
exactly. Lactoid. Like
Ico.
Corey, like it doesn't. It's not in the same category. Corey can't even give him that much because Corey, like, but what is the soap is one of the greatest public health tools, like
you're glorifying this.
like 2 centuries ago, right? No, how many years, how many lives have been saved simply with a bar of soap, right? Comparing that to motorcycles when you literally die, right?
The hero. Sydney Sweeney, the hero, saving people's lives.
No. Soap versus motorcycle was a comparison. Not even okay, whatever. So, look. It looks like the only one here defending women, defending capitalism has to be the socialist, right? Oh, and sorry, also Gibbs, right? Because Gibbs don't give a fuck.
That's
we
right.
defend attractive blonde, blue-eyed women, right? Where Lactoid doesn't want them anywhere near his products, right? He pretended otherwise, right? He was a socialist and capitalist clothing, right? But the moment you press him on it, all of a sudden, well, no, not this particular hot woman. No, I won't her near my
We're
products.
still talking
right?
about
It
Sweetie's
makes things
titties?
worse. It is a more.
I've seen
it's a
some
more
vaporwave videos that says this
progressive
is bad.
moral
Okay.
hazard. Okay, anyway,
He just hates hot bitches. That's what he
Before-
hates.
He does hate them.
Yeah.
Onto the topic.
Well, just Doopy asked me a question, so I'm gonna answer this question, and then we'll move on.
Lactoid, why are you gay?
Okay.
That's me, Gibbs.
You are gay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is a sickness.
I was one person off. I was on this side, not that side.
Okay, so all right. Well, Lactoid struggling with sexuality, literally as we speak, literally on stream. But all right,
But
Doopy.
crazy that the libertarian is the guy that's against hot bitches, like being on ads and making money for
amazing.
themselves. It's
It's
crazy.
amazing.
Like
Never
the
truly
socialist Lactoid back.
Scott
That-
was right all the time. Along. Scott was right all along.
Yeah.
Any which way.
he
back
must
to
have been
it.
watching a lot of Andrew Wilson
Right?
lately or something.
You asked me how this has allowed her to take control of her sexuality, right? You still there, Doopy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it was that she, like, the way people were monetizing her by like criticizing her and like getting social media clout. There's so many like think pieces on Sydney Sweeney, right? On her body and what she should and should not do, right? And beyond that, just like the fights that people would have and the things that they would say about her, right? Yeah, you could score points, score followers, and grow your brand by attacking Sydney Sweeney. Was that's still to the case now, right? Where this individual woman, her just like her body existing, right, out there, is a battlefield in of itself, and then she had any control of that. It simply existed. But now she's like, all right, well, if you want
No,
to
that doesn't make any sense.
which way, buy a product.
It's not that. Hold on,
and-
but it's not that she just existed. She existed and put herself out there as a sex object for a TV show to make money. Right. So it's not that she just existed. Like the intention, having her there with her boobs out all the time, was to push her as a sex object.
They were out all the time.
She pushed women's rights back 100 years, okay, just by herself.
God bless
and,
her.
and now she's leaning into it even more, and she's got you defending the heteronormative white supremacist beauty standards of the modern day.
I'm all about white supremacy, but that's not fair. She's a very hot white woman, and he's a black guy, and that's not that's a match made in heaven.
Okay, all right. So we're gonna move on with our lives. All right. Let's get back to this, guys. If you're enjoying the conversations, right? We provide you good conversations because it's supporting the channel, right? You're out here, you were having fun out there in chat. I see you guys enjoying this conversation. Help us out. Substitute channel, give bits or gift subs. We need your help, right? This channel doesn't survive without you. So consider doing that, or super chats in YouTube. Keeping track of those super chats. We'll read them, we'll interact with them. So consider helping us out. All right, back to Corey. Topic: Trump economy. Go ahead.
Was that the top? Okay. Well, first, yeah. Sydney Sweeney, attractive, not hot. Okay. I want to reinforce it. Yeah. Even if I were to make a list of my top 10, most attractive celebrities, I don't think she would make the top 10. But she's up there.
Top 10,000. Like she's nowhere.
But yeah, she's attractive. And also what I would say is, again, lactoid in typical fashion
You're Canadian, so your opinion doesn't count for anything on anything. But go ahead. Sorry.
Sure. In typical lactoid fashion, he's a hypocrite. Okay. Because I think if I remember correctly, and I wrote it down, check the VOD. I think he said word for word in relation to buying Sydney Sweeney soap or bathwater. This is not conducive to a healthy life. And this is coming from a motorcycle rider. If that's not hypocrisy, then I don't know exactly what
that
it
is conducive to a healthy life.
See, exactly. No ability to self-reflect.
Doesn't understand public health, but go ahead.
But all to say on the actual topic, okay, yes, Trump has lived up to his promises. Absolutely. He released the Epstein files, total transparency about that. He solved the Russia-Ukraine war on day one, just like he promised. Case closed. And I'm sure the Israel-Gaza situation also ended on day one, more or less like he promised. So just promise after promise, kept up. But yes. I don't think, in my opinion, that, is he actually honoring his word? I guess, yeah, when it comes to the tariffs, he was pretty transparent about that in the lead up to the election. And he seems to be, I guess, holding true in terms of trying to implement it. But, as Lactwood and others says, always changing it, where what the actual rules are, what the actual tariffs are. I've essentially lost track. And I think most of the world has actually lost track. But he is actually trying to do something with tariffs. And yes, he passed a bill. But I guess, in my opinion, despite running on essentially a platform of reducing the deficit and spending. From what I understand, the big beautiful bill is projected to increase the deficit by 3, 4, 5 trillion, depending on which projection you want to look at. Which I think again, I think pretty hypocritical. And also just in terms of long-term trajectory of the economy, I think, when it comes to United States allies, soft power, and actually the ability to bring back manufacturing, I don't think that's actually going to happen. And so long-term, I don't have good prospects for the economy. And I think that's also reflected in what happened just in this past few days in terms of the him firing, the labor secretary, whatnot, because the numbers were revised down. I think that's essentially right out of the playbook of something that China would do. And I'm sure Lacto is all in favor of that. Of if you don't like the numbers, then just toss away the person who came up with the numbers. But yeah, I'll leave it there for now.
You mean the director of the Bureau of Labor and Statistics
yes.
Department. $10 from Alexander Wynn. Sydney Sweeney has great genes, but those genes sucked. Great genetics, but the pants sucked. I didn't buy the pants. I don't know.
Who wears American Eagle?
I don't know. Well, lots more people because of Sydney Sweeney, right? So good work, right? And once again, an example of capitalism succeeding, but Lactwood hates it, can't stand it, has a problem with that. Right? He like you, government issued genes, right? Everyone has the same genes.
Same genes.
So let's go to our friend Aiko.
Gosh, I hate to be the first person in the intros not to talk about Sydney Sweeney, but maybe we can try going back to economics a little bit. So the one comment on economics that I heard Gibbs make before he talked about 5 other things was that he found this article about Bank of America and their key tail risk. But I think he misunderstood what I initially told him because it wasn't that there was a risk that the economy might go down. Key tail risk is the risk that the economy will have a boom. And what Gibbs was talking about was he posted an article about a week ago in another forum where he said he posted this article about the Bank of America article saying that there was a key tail risk of an economic boom, and he posted that. But I think he might have posted it not knowing what a key tail risk is. Key tail risk is an extremely low percentage outcome possibility. So if I were to say there's a key tail risk that that Prime will have a heart attack this year, what that means is there's a very low percentage chance that Prime is going to have a heart attack this year. That's what he's saying. So Bank of America was saying that an economic boom is a very low probability outcome in their analysis, which is the opposite of what some people read into that headline. So Bank of America is saying the same thing I'm saying, which is the idea of an economic boom happening this year is very low probability. And the reason I agree with Bank of America on that is because when I look at these sort of economic outcomes that we're having, it's all indicating that an economic slowdown or inflation, depending on what report it is that you're looking at. And I heard us talking about tariffs earlier. The trouble is, all of these deals, they're not really deals, they're frameworks for deals, but these frameworks that are coming in from the EU, from Japan, from the UK, from other places, are indicating 15% tariff rate on goods coming in. So unless we can, a lot of people were talking about how, because Trump is such a great negotiator, he's actually going to get tariffs down to zero so that there won't be sort of an inflation hit. And maybe you could do that with a 5% tariff. With a 15% tariff, it's very difficult to say. You're either going to tell corporations that they have to take 15% out of their net income, their net profits, or they're going to have to raise prices in order to make up for that. And right now, the latest report, Core PCE, is we're talking about 6-month Core PCE. 6 months is the one to look at because that's how long Trump's been president. Is an annualized 3.2% inflation, which is why the Fed didn't cut interest rates last week. And the other one, of course, is the one that's been in all of the new headline news in the recent few days, and mainly because Trump made it big news because he wants to fire the head or has fired the head of BLS, is that they showed an average jobs gain over the last 3 months of 35,000 jobs per month. To give you context, like if Biden ever had anything below 150,000 jobs, then Fox News would explode with how badly the economy was doing. And this isn't just the month of July. We're talking about an average over the past 3 months. I think it was 73,000 jobs is the initial report for July. And then we're looking at something like 11 to 14,000 jobs in the 2 months prior. And July still has adjustments to go, and adjustments tend to be going down right now. So I think what we're seeing is that the economy's growth is slowing, and we're seeing increases in inflation. That's something that can only happen when there's tariffs, because either that profit goes into the company, in which case we go gangbusters and an overheated economy results in inflation, or you get relatively low inflation because of the slowness of the economy, which is what high interest rates are supposed to do to the economy anyway. The other thing that I would ask.
Oh my God, going a little long here, but
Scott here.
Okay,
yeah,
going a little long. How long has this intro thing been going on, talking about nothing but the topic? No. You cannot blame me for that. No.
Okay, all right, fine. Go ahead.
Corey's intro went 30 minutes, but it
Hey,
was
that was
fair enough.
fault. That was
This
No.
is Corey's
Corey
fault.
didn't say anything, but it was his
I
intro
agree.
time.
I
All right,
agree.
so the
It is
last
Corey's
point
fault. Go ahead.
The last point I want to make is that there's this big argument going on with Trump and the Fed. Trump keeps saying that they need to cut interest rates. The reason you would say that they need to cut interest rates is because the economy is slowing. So Trump must be saying that the economy is slowing, and that's why he wants interest rates cut. So he can't both say that he wants to cut interest rates to stop the slowdown of the economy and then also say that the economy is going gangbusters. If the economy is going gangbusters at a time when we're at 3.2%, 6-month annualized PCE, would be if would be if you had some sort of risk of an economic slowdown. So Trump must agree with the person that he just fired.
Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, Corey, why did you
And
interrupt?
mine was the shortest.
Why'd you interrupt Aiko? Right? You had enough time. Why'd you interrupt him? Okay, thank
I'm a
you.
white person. What can I say?
Let's go to our friend Ali.
Doge was supposed to save us so much money that I was supposed to get a check in the mail. Didn't get a check in the mail. I keep getting promised like the tariffs now. I'm gonna get a check in the mail. I don't get a check in the mail. The only time I got a check in the mail from the government, God bless Gretchen Whitmer. All right, God bless the Democrats of Michigan. Okay, God bless COVID. Because for 2 years, the government was just giving me checks in the mail. All right. So with all that losing and I was getting checks in the mail, all this winning, no checks in the mail. I think we're fucked economically. I think chips are very expensive. I relate everything to bags of chips. Bags of chips are $3 now for a regular bag of chips. Kids can't afford chips.
It's like
They
$10
cannot
Canadian.
afford what?
That's like $10 Canadian. It's a lot.
Yes, exactly. So like, I want everyone to think. Just look at Canada. I think we're fucked. I think we're heading towards a collapse. I think the best bet now is you pray you get hit by a municipal vehicle. You cash in that sweet check, right? You sue them. You cash in that sweet check. You fuck off. You go to Spain. You leave the country. You have a better time. Thank you. Go on, Doobie.
Are you saying we need another Chips Act, but this one about potato chips?
True. Doobie.
I've really been trying to think of anywhere Trump hasn't been terrible. But I think he's been fucking awful for the country, for the world across the board. Economically, I think just the economically, spiritually, just like fucking transcendentally, metaphorically, bad across the board in all ways. There's nothing good about him. It's just been a terrible fucking 8 months now. And I think it's gonna get worse. So yeah, just bad.
Okay, thank you so much. And finally, KO Dave, hello, hi. Hopefully you've caught the topic here.
Denny Sweeney, go for it.
Here's what your opinion is.
Oh, can I say really quick? I like to give KO Dave some props for having the testicular fortitude to come on when I called him out. He's talking shit in chat.
Absolutely.
Now, the other guy, Guess Who Farted, who's in, and
too much of a coward.
That's not a surprising username for this guy, by the way. He's in Gibbs and Lactose chat. I encourage you to come on, mister.
People like that would never show their face, like on camera.
Yeah, he's a big bitch.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I would like to echo that as well, because Green's a plenty in my prime chat. He'd been calling me out for weeks, and he's a bitch. So fuck that. Put it up.
No comment, but KO Dave, hello.
Hi. Okay, so Trump's first 6 months have been abject horror, I would say. I have no idea what are they even bothering to keep count of all the people that they are deporting? Like, I have no idea, but it's got to be tens of thousands, I'd imagine. Without any due process, which is kind of the big thing. It's not necessarily the deportations, it's the fact that they're doing it in such a way that they're not allowing for due process to take its course. That and the fact that they're deporting them to foreign prisons, which blows my mind. Of course, there's the Epstein Files stuff, and then there's the Doge, which I believe the cuts to USAID, which are probably the most inhumane thing that Trump has done thus far in the last 10 years, I would imagine, which is projected to result in the deaths of some 14 million people. So that's bad beyond words, I would say, and beyond indefensible. So yeah, I hope that I just I'm also Canadian. Shout out Corey.
Nice.
And
Lactoid and Lactoid. Don't never forget Lactoid.
Lactoid. Shout out Lactoid. And Canadians are taking over your panel, Parn.
Surrounded. The real invasion from the north, right? That no one's really talking about.
You're going to become the 10th or 11th province.
That's
11th province, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's bad.
Let's
I don't
open
like
it
it.
up to the. Fair enough. Let's open it up to the panel.
So like for all the people who are pro, which is pro Trump, which would be the Gibbsy, I guess kind of Lactoid a little bit. If literally everyone, including your own party, thinks like shit's going like, everything's going to shit, except for like what, half of you?
It's going fantastic.
Half of you agree with what's going on, and the other half don't. So you have 75% of the country that disagrees with you. Like, what do you think is going on?
Oh yeah, it's
You think that's
75%. Well, 75% of the country agrees with us, but that's cool. It's like 80-20 issues, like deportation, immigration. That's an 80-20 issue. We've seen polling that reflects it. 8% of people approve of the Dems. Also, by the way, homie down here is saying it's a crazy shit. 14 million people are gonna die because we cut off USA. Good, fuck them. It's not true, but fuck them. And secondly, they shouldn't be fucking paying for their shit with my tax dollars anyway. And secondly, can you define due process? Because there is a fucking process. You just don't like the process. It's a fucking simple process. Like, listen, when they go down to Alligator Alcatraz, they're given that option of either going to fucking trial and going to all this shit, or just taking a plane ticket that the U.S. will pay for and send them back to the country that they're from. Then they don't have to worry about this shit. So everything KO Dave said was an absolute lie, not based in reality, and insanity. And I don't know about the 75% of people.
But a lot of people are
liking
getting amnesty, so you guys aren't even in agreement on that, right? Because like I think the vote is like something like 70% of Republicans are like they don't want just illegal immigrants kicked out. They want criminals kicked out. Just the fact that they're here illegally they don't consider them.
Well, that
criminals.
is a criminal.
Like, do you disagree with that?
That's a criminal. So cool. Yeah.
So most people don't agree with you though.
Well, that means
It's
most people are
interesting
wrong,
that the
but
moment
it's not
it's
most
interesting that the moment that their food production is
people.
imperiled,
you know-
they decide actually we don't like this.
Where have I
We
heard
don't
this
want to
argument
deport
before?
illegals.
Where have I heard this
Oh,
argument?
no.
Have you heard this argument before, guys? I
From
think
Trump.
it's the same
From
argument
Trump. You heard it
that
from
the
Trump, because
hold on, ICAL. There's
Heard from
somebody.
every
Hold
business
on,
that uses-
hold on, ICAL.
every
There's somebody
business
else
that
that made.
uses
There's
illegal
somebody else that
immigrant labor.
made this
Yes, every
argument.
business that
Hold on.
uses it. That's
There's
where you're
somebody
hearing it
else that
from.
made this argument. Oh, was it
Yeah,
the
Trump.
Democrats in the 1860s
Bro,
argued for
stop with the
slavery?
whataboutism.
No, it's
Stop
not
with the
whataboutism.
whataboutism.
This is the
Everything
exact
is
same.
whataboutism.
No, it's not.
Everything- every
So
time we
sociologic.
talk to you,
Hold on.
you
It
bring
is
in
not
the
a
Democrats and
whataboutism.
what
Hold on.
Biden
It is
did.
not a whataboutism to give a
Yeah.
direct one-to-one correlation between
Like-
something that was said verbatim in history by the same fucking party. They argued for slavery. You're literally
Well,
having.
talk about the
Hold
other
on,
party.
sociological. They're literally arguing for modern day slavery with keeping these immigrants here, paying them under the
not.
table. But yes, they will. You're
That's
stupid
not
to
what
understand that.
Democrats are
That's
arguing for.
literally,
That's what
literally,
Democrats are arguing for.
literal modern day
Democrats-
slavery. That's what
Modern
it
day
is.
Democrats have argued
Oh.
for a path to citizenship. They have not
Oh,
argued for
yes.
this indentured servitude bullshit that's currently
what
going
y'all
on.
are
They have not
arguing for.
argued
That
for
happens
No,
by these
fake
big
news. That's
businesses.
a lie.
Do you agree or disagree
That's
that
a lie?
these businesses
Yeah,
are the
you're
ones that are doing
absolutely
the indentured
lying
servitude
right now.
and that they're probably leaning more towards
just not.
republicanism, right? Like businesses didn't vote for don't vote Democrat, they vote Republican, and they're the ones using the indentured servants. So like I don't using these workers as indentured servants. So I don't see where
you notice that the
Trump himself said that he didn't want to deport farm workers and factory workers anymore.
Yeah, and I disagree with that as well. But here's the problem.
refocus.
Yeah, and which groups are the ones pushing this? Once again, they're all these people in these farms, work farms specifically.
The
A lot of them,
business community,
a lot of them in
yeah.
California. Most of them in California are the ones been talking about this. And so, lo and behold, the Dems
farms
want more
stop being in the red
slavery.
states now?
I mean, listen. I'm just saying, Texas, we aren't sitting here advocating for that bullshit. Other Republican states are very pissed about this. It's not an 75% like you're advocating for.
Agricultural
I don't know
states
what
mostly.
I don't know what like polling you're looking at, but I can provide lots of
Nebraska.
polling where people are sitting here going to the South are saying, "Hey, we don't want these people here." It's that simple. You came here illegally. That's a crime. And then you're hurting ranchers, you're hurting farmers. None of y'all are in the ag industry. So I want you to tell me, this guy KO Dave, I want you specifically to tell me, a rancher, how getting rid of companies that are paying these people under the table isn't beneficial to me where I'm playing at the same playing field. Can you tell me that? I want you to give me an in-depth ag breakdown on how the ag industry works and how that's going to hurt me to get rid of my competitions, people where they're using unfair trade practices, like paying people under the table. Can you explain that to me?
No, because
we can't. Okay,
it
cool.
wouldn't
Then
be
shut the
case.
fuck up. Like, if you're gonna say stupid
No,
shit.
so
Like,
here's
Jesus
the
Christ.
thing, right? Gibbs, here's the thing, Gibbs. I've said it already that the Democratic Party wants a path to citizenship.
Well, you
for
just
these
said
people,
something about ag.
so that these
Oh, so
companies
he's
can no
flip-flopping.
longer
Got
get.
it.
No, so that I'm not. No one's flip flopping.
Oh, so you're obviously because you're running away from my question. You're running away from my question. No. I want him to answer my question. No. Don't run because you just told me. Hold on, Ollie. Golan, you just said your direct quote was when you came in. Oh, imagine that they're worried about their food production. I'm in food production. Tell me why I'm wrong. I want you to sit here and go through a step-by-step breakdown of why this is good for the ag industry because that's the argument you made. Don't go obfuscate and go to some other point. Let's sit here and talk. And if you said no, then shut up and don't talk about shit you don't know about.
What?
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you to explain how it's good for the ag industry. Tell me.
I never said.
You never. Okay.
I want to make this clear.
Don't make me go back to the tape. You just said it.
I never said that keeping these people.
Respond.
I never said that keeping these people in the situation they're in is good for the agriculture industry. I never said that. I never said that. You know, that these under the table practices that you're talking about are something that we should defend and keep. I never said that. This is something called a straw man, and you're currently burning it to the ground. And I really appreciate that. I really enjoy watching you dance around this straw man that's currently on fire.
It's not a dance around. You can't answer the question. That's what you're doing. You're running around it.
What the Democratic Party has been calling for, and what I personally agree with, is a path to citizenship to these people, so that we're not. Or you, not we, you aren't sending them to foreign freaking prisons to get tortured and God knows what else is happening to them down there, right? So instead of that, you give them a path to citizenship so that they can be properly documented. You can be sure that they're paying taxes, all this wonderful stuff. And this is important, and these companies that you're complaining about can no longer defend these under the table bullshit deals that you're complaining about. That is a more effective way of dealing with this problem than just saying, fuck all of them, let's deport them all, send them to foreign prisons. That is going to be more effective. You're going to keep the labor here, which you all seem to love, American labor.
Not American labor.
And let's not.
That's a key word there.
Yeah,
American labor.
Let's not mistake that America is an immigrant nation, right? America is an immigrant nation. It's built on the backs of immigrants. It has been
legal immigrants.
It has been its entire existence, and it will continue to be.
Why is it? Can you tell me why Hispanics, legal Hispanics in droves, are overwhelmingly in favor of the deportations? Can you explain that to me?
No, I can't.
Oh, you can't because they did it. It's not stupid. It's because they came here legally and they had to wait in line and go through the process. The reason why you can't explain the ag thing after I asked you directly and you obfuscated
I just did.
Point, you didn't. You're lying once again. It's really simple. I asked you to
step in.
Hold on. I asked you to go through a step.
Not.
No. You started talking about prisons in other countries. You didn't once address any of the arguments I made about the ag industry. You clearly don't know about the ag industry. You don't know what you're talking about. And then when you talk about sitting here advocating for policies that are going to bring people here and they're going to sit here and give them pathway to citizenship. We don't want that. People don't want that. That's what we voted for. And you're sitting here saying, oh, this is going to be a good thing because XYZ. And then when pressed on it, you don't have any data to back it up. You don't have any knowledge of the subject. You're just sitting here spewing talking points.
I don't have data.
Oh,
I was
you're just
kind
wrong.
of brought on.
Wait, hold on. Wait, 1 second.
Wait,
Gibbs, can you tell me what percent of Hispanics do you think support what Trump has been doing with the deportation?
Well, right now, the last poll I saw was something like 79% of Hispanics are in favor. Legal 79? Hispanics are in favor. Yeah, I just saw a poll on it the other day where they were saying about 79% of people. I don't know. I'll find it in a little bit. I just posted about $50 or something else. I'm fired up right now because I'm hearing a bunch of stupidity.
I need to point this out. It's one thing if you ask somebody, do you think illegal immigrants ought to be deported? You're going to see a very high response rate on that. But then if you say, do you agree with Trump's policies on deportations? He's actually underwater. He's underwater by double digits on immigration. Now, why is that? Why are those two things both true at the same time? Because people believe, especially Hispanics who voted for Trump in the 2024 election, did so believing that he was only going to deport violent criminals and he was going to prioritize in that.
So then why in July is it shot up?
When they saw ICE raiding Home Depots and shit like that, that they don't approve of, especially when it's their friends, their neighbors, and their relatives that are getting deported, when they were thinking that that was not the type of people who would get deported. There was a big difference. I can show you poll by poll, but the easiest one to look at is just the polling average. If you go to the Silver Bulletin website, you can drill down to just approval on immigration, and it's 12.4% right now, points underwater, specifically on immigration. And that's one of his better poll numbers, because he immigrates better. He polls better on immigration than he does on anything else. So the fact that he's underwater by double digits, specifically on immigration, means that people do want to see deportation rates higher, but they want to see the right people being deported, not virtually everybody. And also, if you look at the total number of people deported, like on a month-by-month basis, he's still deporting fewer people than Biden did. It's just that he doesn't have the same prioritization strategies that Biden had.
Yeah, but hold on. That's not even true either. That's not even
wanted to deport violent criminals first, and Trump is deprioritizing.
But
Biden
was changing the system so they could just let any Tom, Dick, and Sally apply on an app and come in, and they're like, this is legal immigration. Fine. If that's fine and that's legal immigration, then what we're doing is also legal, and it's also due process.
What are they applying for on that app?
Also,
are they applying for immigration, or are they applying for asylum?
Yeah, which is crazy. We should probably leave the asylum treaty, for being honest. But secondly, they're applying for like asylum because, oh no, I was in a gang.
Okay, so now
I was in a gang back in El Salvador, and now because I was in a gang, a different gang wants to kill me, so I should deserve asylum. That's ridiculous. It's outrageous. And also, I just posted the most recent poll among Hispanics. Guess what? Among legal Hispanic voters, 62% approve of the way deportations are currently being held. So yeah, y'all are all just wrong. You're just lying, and you clearly don't know what actual Hispanics are.
Where are you posting this?
I just posted it in our group chat. So we all are clearly just.
I don't say anything about that in the thing you posted.
It literally says verbatim, it's supporting. Okay, all right, let me just. President Donald Trump is gaining unexpected ground with Hispanic voters in 2026 midterm. And then it goes in here and talks about it. It talks about 62% approving, whatever. And then here's another article here. Let me just post this one.
No, that's not what you said. That's not what you said.
This is the main article it comes from. Here, hold on. Here we go. Boom. 62% of Hispanics approve of his specifically deportations.
Okay, where?
That's literally the title of the article.
Where? Yeah, where does it say that? You said how
Hispanic support for Donald Trump's deportation surges. That is the title of the article.
I was looking at. Hold on, I was looking at the one that you posted earlier.
Well, yeah, which is with the polling from that one. That's the polling data.
Yeah, and to be clear, in the polling you posted earlier, he's way underwater with Hispanics. Like he has a very low approval rating with Hispanics.
Surges 62%.
Surges to what? Hold on.
62% approve of the deportation.
First of all, immigration's not surging. Deportations are not surging. Deportations were higher last year than they are this year.
Do you know why?
He hasn't been able to catch up.
Why is that? Numbers. Well, but he's also stopped people from coming in. We went from 1,500 a day in Shelby Park. Yeah, we went from 1,500 a day in Shelby Park to 3 a week. So this misnomer. Oh, they're like, stopping. It's because if I have a smaller pool, if I'm in a boat and there's a hole in the boat, right, and it's filling up, and I have two options. I either can have this giant bucket where I throw the water out, or I can have a little cup and I can put a cover over the hole. But if I get the big bucket, I can't cover the hole. Which one do you think actually gets rid of the water? Well, it's not the one with the big bucket, because all the water is going to keep coming through the hole. It's when you close the hole and then take the little cup and throw the water out. That's the one that's stopping the immigration. That's the one that's stopping all these problems. And y'all are just sitting here going, oh, well, we can't take our lives less.
But so if I'm understanding you correctly, let's use Grid's numbers, as in you don't want those 9 million illegal immigrants
in New York.
Are you okay with that? Those 9 million?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the 9 million in New York. That was listen. Those aren't my numbers. Those aren't my numbers. But you know,
the rhetoric that I heard, which could be mistaken, but it's like, yes, there's the aspect of closing the border, but then there's people that like Grid with made up numbers, like 20 million in the United States, illegal immigrants, 9 million in New York alone, which represents half the population of New York State, I think, if I have my math correct.
That was wrong
so
for sure.
You don't care.
20 million illegals. I mean, definitely not with 9 million in New York alone.
But yeah, I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
there might be
but-
20 million
but that's the thing.
nationwide.
Like, so what?
Yeah,
What
it's
exactly?
true.
Yeah, as in, you're okay with let's say 50 million illegal immigrants in the United States, aside from just stopping the influx from the border.
I don't know. I don't know what like. There seems to be like a little bit here of like the argument's like a Schrodinger's kind of like argument, which is like Trump is undoubtedly like harder on immigration, and when you like look up like yes, the overall deportations are lower, but like the two explanations for this are that the border crossings have dropped dramatically, right? Like border crossings are down to like compared to not only last year but also compared to Biden's first year. It's not even close, right? So you got a smaller pool of deportable people. Combine that with the fact that Trump is
How is that a
basically lot
smaller
more-
pool? There's like, again, according to some numbers, it's like 50 million, 100 million illegals in the United States.
Well, because more established illegals might be more difficult to find, might be more difficult to deport. There could be like more issues with that like another president would also run into. But like Biden's numbers were kept artificially high, but the fact there were so many border crossings. Combine that with the fact that Trump just has been having a lot more legal challenges, right? Like, I mean, Obama deported a shit ton of people, right? And he didn't face the same level of legal challenges that Trump has. In fact, I mean, we really start to see universal injunctions be used when it comes to immigration. With Trump in a way that they just simply weren't with Obama. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they were used at all with Obama. So yeah, you see like a much more, I think, aggressive judicial system in trying to slow down Trump when it comes to this. That's probably responsible for part of it, although that might start to wear off after, depending on what decisions come down, and some of them have already been pretty favorable. And historically, the Supreme Court decisions are very favorable towards the executive when it comes to immigration. You might see some of that start to wear off as these decisions start to come down or continue to come down. And then, but I would agree. I don't think you're ever really going to see deportations get as high as a lot of the people who voted for Trump wanted to get. But I think a big part of that's really just because so few people are crossing the border now. Like it is a historic drop.
Yeah, so I just looked at Gibbs's article. It shows 50% support among Hispanic voters, and that's not support for current policies. It's support
That's just for deportation in general.
It's support for deportations. Everyone agrees that
Yeah.
deportations, like that's fine. There's nothing
It's
wrong.
not this
with deporting
80% against
people
it. That's how we were being told. I mean, this is Hispanics.
It's who they're targeting that people have issues with, right? But he's still under 12.4% underwater, not just among Hispanics, but among Americans across the board for his immigration policy in general. So it's not, I mean, I'm fine with, yeah, I agree that I'm not surprised that actually I'm surprised that it dropped to 50% because there was a point at which it was higher, that it was higher than that. It's why so many voted for him. But his approval among Hispanics is dropping like a stone, has been since he started introducing these policies. I used to work in and I still have a lot of friends in a 70% Hispanic like school district. And I can tell you that a lot of the people, a lot of the families that I used to work with back in the day or whatever, a lot of them voted for Trump because they didn't think he was going to do something like this. They thought he was just going to focus on those people who are committing like big crimes and stuff like that.
Criminals.
One thing I follow,
Well, they're all criminals.
but also we're supposed to be talking about economics.
But they don't see it that way, Gibbs, and that's the problem. Is you think they all see it that
It
way?
doesn't
that
matter
everyone's
what
a
they
criminal,
see.
but
It. These
until-
are
wait,
criminals.
It does matter how they see it because these are the people who voted and these are people
Yeah.
who are disagreeing
Hold
with the
on.
vote. Like you can't just discount
Sorry.
The
them.
reason why I said violent criminals, it's the violent crimes that they thought would put
Hold
people.
on,
at
we
the
can't.
top
We
of the
shouldn't
list.
even go that far. Hold on, and I do want to move to the economy soon. Actually, I want to make sure we get that in. But to be clear, they're not criminals.
They're
Simply
absolutely
crossing the
criminals.
border. I have to keep having to do this again and again. Simply crossing the border does not make you a criminal.
It absolutely does.
You do that illegal. It is a civil violation. It is not a criminal violation. It's not a criminal act. So we can leave that alone. We can stop calling them criminals. They're not criminals. But in any case,
That's not true. It is not a civil act. Specifically, USC 1325 makes it a misdemeanor for an alien crime. That's not a civil violation. That's a federal crime. You're wrong. Like it's that simple. Like
We have a lawyer here. A lawyer might be able.
No. So where Prime's confused is it's a criminal offense to hop the border. It's not a criminal offense to overstay your visa.
okay. And so
And
most
also
people
those
say
who
do
cross-
overstaying
also,
their
if
visa.
you have
Overstaying your
a-
visa is not necessarily a criminal
if you have an
offense,
asylum
but
claim,
border
that's
hopping
also not
is.
a crime, even across the
Okay,
border.
fair enough.
No,
enough.
whoa,
I'll take it.
hold on. No.
We
You
have-
have to
we
enter
have
into
a
a valid
law.
port of entry. You got to enter into a
Right.
valid port of entry in order to make an
sure.
asylum claim.
Yeah,
Well,
that's,
if- no,
that's
you
the
have to
point.
step
Asylum
foot.
claims are not asylum claims is not illegal in the first place. Period. Right. But to be clear, they put them all within the same category, just like what Gibbs is doing. Right. He's saying, oh well, all of them are a problem. So when
they
we
all are a
talk
problem.
about see, exactly right. So they're all of them are a problem. So yes, people within ICO's district, or sorry, or whatever that area,
It was a district, yeah.
okay, yeah,
School
people
district.
within that district voted for Trump, thinking that he was just going to get the violent ones out, right? But Trump was actually quite honest with what he meant. Like he meant all of them, right? But in their minds, they're like, oh, the conservative mind, the way it always works is that, oh yes, you're going to brutalize people, but it's not going to be me. Of course not. No, see, I'm a good person, right? The brutalization will have happen somewhere else. Those other people who actually deserve it, they're the ones that are going to be brutalized. Oh, wait a minute. The party promising deportation started deporting. Oh, wow. Everyone? Really? Who could have seen it coming? Well, literally all of their blue neighbors who've been telling them this the entire goddamn time. They were telling you this. They predicted exactly what was going to happen. They didn't have to use a crystal ball to do it. They just listened to what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump was honest there, right? He didn't hide it, but they deluded themselves. And so fuck them. In any case.
Well, Prime. You know what's
So I want to
interesting
move
is
on
well,
to-
this is
sorry,
economics.
sorry, no. Sorry, I don't want. I want. Oh, sorry. I want to the. I want to move on. So I wanted to address something that I liked what I said previously, talking about tariffs being bringing in more money for people for the country, right? Well, of course. I mean, you already know that that would
It's
be
a
a hard.
tax.
Yeah, it's a tax, right? Once again, Lactoid celebrating taxes, as we see.
It's not what I
Well,
said.
Yeah, well,
Is-
you said
is-
you celebrated the income that would be coming in from tariffs, right? Right, and how that
Is-
would be good. It would bring
Wait,
in.
wait, I wanted to ask:
What?
is Trump promoting slavery now with tariffs?
Exactly. Is he? Why
Is he?
not? Yeah.
Are
Taxes
taxes
are
Yeah,
slavery?
you're right. You're right. Any kind of increase in taxes is some also increase correlate increase in
Tariffs
slavery
are
for
taxes.
sure. Sure, tariffs are
Tariffs-
taxes.
No,
Taxes are
it's
bad.
slavery.
Now, deficit spending is also bad. Thomas Massey, for example, when he was fighting against the Big Beautiful Bill, one of the things that he kept citing was we have to make further cuts or not cut taxes so much because we have to take care of the deficit. And myself, I thought he made a good point. I think a lot of libertarians agree that it is a good point. As much as we want to cut taxes, and I think that was a beneficial aspect of the Big Beautiful Bill, there is a concern about the deficit. And although I don't like tariffs, if tariffs bring us out of the deficit, like if this trend holds and we no longer have a deficit this year, I know crazy, but let's just say hypothetically,
I'll take a bet on
that
that.
might be
Zero deficit this year?
deficit from June to December. If he rolls in a surplus
I'll
every
still
month
take
from
that
June to
bet, yeah.
well, I wouldn't bet on it, okay, because I don't think it's going to happen.
Right.
But I'm saying hypothetically, if between June and December you see a surplus, I'm going to say, okay, this is like a unexpected benefit of tariffs that I didn't expect. Like this is going to be something that's actually going to help remove or lower the deficit and thus.
How
It's
how
interesting.
is
It's
Trump
interesting how-
supposed?
One
How-
second. One second.
Okay.
It's interesting that that you could even frame it like that at all, right? So Trump puts in a bill that's going to explode the deficit, right? Every serious economist looked at it, right? Has said the Big Beautiful Bill going to explode the debt, 3.5
Because it cuts
trillion, I
taxes,
believe,
yeah.
the number, right? So it explodes the debt, right? Which is a bad thing because then there's a deficit spending, of course, right? Deficit spending happens. And then the way he closes it is the way that Republicans always close it, right? They end up punishing the poor. So tariffs would be a regressive tax, right? Because when it comes to buying products, that's going to fall more. It'll take more of the income of people who are on a lower tax brackets. So he fills in the hole in the budget with the money of the least advantage of us, right? And then Lacto looks at that. Well, that will be a success, I guess, right? That would be an unexpected benefit.
If we start clocking in a surplus, and let's just say we start seeing this to be a consistent trend, you're saying we're not gonna, but it's an if question, right? It's a hypothetical. If we start seeing this, you wouldn't say well, fuck, I thought Trump was going to be like a deficit president, but he's actually a surplus president, which is a good thing. Well, like, yes, tariffs can be bad, but like you take the good with the bad, right? Like if you do raise money that if it addresses
hold on,
the
those
deficit,
are
this
two
would be a
different
good thing.
statements. Like, I would reevaluate if he got a surplus. For sure, I would reevaluate the
Sure.
idea of tariffs sort of generally. That
Yeah.
would make me reevaluate it, right? But the last part of your statement, which is that's a good thing, Prime was saying that this is a regressive tax. So what he's basically saying
No,
is
no,
we're
no, no.
going to
Specifically, the
raise
deficit
taxes on
reduction.
billionaires.
Specifically, the reduction and specifically the
I know,
change of the
yeah, I
deficit to the
understand that,
surplus.
but if you're
That
getting
would
that
be a good thing.
reduction by taxing the lower middle class and the poor more than and virtually not taxing the rich at all, then I think at least under the assumptions that Prime has put out, that would at best be a mixed call, because it still means that you're putting more burden on the
I
most
get the argument.
marginalized
I get
and
the
less
argument.
burden on- yeah.
The argument
So
is
I'm
that
just
tariff.
saying, I would
But
reevaluate
you're
if
missing
we
my
started-
argument though.
No, I'm not. I just said it would make me reevaluate.
Sure. You're saying it would make you reevaluate it. My only point is that like shifting a deficit from to a surplus would in of itself be a good thing. Now, if it causes, obviously it is a tax, and if a whole bunch more Americans are under this tax, which is a bad thing, yes, this is like the negative thing. Just like taxes generally are a bad thing, right? You are putting pressure on people, taking away their income, stealing it away, which is a bad thing. One of the benefits of the big beautiful bill, one of the good things is that it cut taxes. One of the bad things is that it increases the deficit.
I'll put it this way, like, because there were times when there were these kinds of proposals before. They just came from Democrats, not Republicans. And the Democrats also understood that tariffs are regressive taxes. So one of the proposals that they used to do back in the day, and I'd be willing to consider it, would be to say, let's raise the income that is immune from taxes, right? And say, okay, the first $50,000 of all income is tax free.
I'd be
Then
fine
you
with
can
that.
make up for the fact that the people making 50,000 and below are paying most of the tariffs. So you can
Yeah.
kind of cancel out.
I'd be fine with that. Realistically, in America, most people making under $50,000, like the percentage of taxes they pay is very
Trump's
small.
talking about tariffs that take the place of income taxes almost entirely. So it shouldn't matter that it's
I will
that
bet
high.
you. I will bet you that even factoring in all the tariffs, including that as taxes, the total percentage of income that the people making under $50,000 are paying in taxes is a drop in the bucket compared to the total amount of taxation that people making over $100,000 are paying.
Yeah, sure, and we can raise
Our tax system is heavily progressive.
Yeah, but also has a lot of there's also a lot of ways of getting around it.
But they don't, like in terms of the actual percentage that's paid.
Especially over $120,000 a year, you pay zero FICA.
I guess I don't know specifically about FICA taxes, but I'm talking about in terms of total tax burden. The vast majority of taxes in this country, like disproportionately, are coming from like
FICA is like half of our taxes.
So,
I want to. Go ahead.
So I just want to let more people in. I do have more because I want to talk about the trade deals as well. Supposed trade deals,
billions of dollars
as well. Oh boy, I have words to say about that. But Gibbs, I know, has been waiting quite patiently.
15%.
But before that, actually, we'll go there. Then if Kyo Dave wants to say something, then we'll do that.
Yeah, so I want to. This is tied to the economy and the immigrant thing, so it's a good segue into both here. People have been telling us, right, for a while that immigrants didn't cost us any money. That was the thing, the illegal aliens, right? Well, it's interesting because Trump has put, with the border immigration policy, has really pushed a new cultural thing with states doing this. So I'm going to read something from the Chicago Tribune, which is a left-leaning newspaper. This is what they said: the programs that are referring to Medicaid cost way more than officials have projected at a time when the states are facing multi-billion-dollar deficits now and in the future. In Illinois, adult immigrants ages 42 to 62 without legal status have lost their health care. This is going to save an estimated $404 million. All adult immigrants in Minnesota no longer have access to the state program, saving nearly $57 million. In California, no one will automatically lose coverage, but new enrollments for adults will stop in 2026 to save more than $3 billion over several years. Now, each of those are just the initial increase in like money that these states will have, and this is not counting for those other two states that they didn't list, and not including California, the impact going forward of the money that's going to be saved for the taxpayers not having to pay for these Medicaid for these people going forward. And so when y'all are saying the economy's like, oh, not doing good, I'm going, oh, well, look, deficit, it's going down. Like, listen, the deficit's being changed. I'm seeing government being restricting spending. This is what I want. I want taxpayers having their money spent on taxpayers. These are the kind of things we want here. And when I see a direct thing after I've been lied to by Dems for years saying that, oh, immigrants don't cost taxpayer money, and I see and look, oh, we cut these programs out just like we did with USAID, which was a great thing. Glad we did that. It's amazing that now the Democratic Party suddenly is out of money. Crazy that we cut USAID. Now they can't fund themselves. And then we're seeing these things. It's great. This is wonderful. Taxpayers are happy that their money aren't being wasted. And y'all are sitting there going, oh, yeah, y'all are on the wrong side of the issues. Sorry,
polls
forgive
show,
me
I
if
don't
I
even
don't.
like referring to polls, but it's not what the polls
Yeah,
show.
but, well, I mean, this is the thing. Your polls are saying that,
So you
but
can
also
keep saying that
they
they're
hate-
happy, but it's your, just say that you're happy.
Well,
individually
we're
and
happy.
stop
Yeah,
making
we're
yourself
happy.
the face
Our
of the
side-
entire
our
party,
side is
'cause
happy,
half
yeah.
the party at least disagrees with
I
you.
mean, half the party doesn't disagree with you. You're sitting here citing biased polls. I don't like this is the problem
Biased
with the poll.
polls.
This is the
I don't
problem
even
with
like polls.
this is the problem with what your like logic is. You were just talking about how the average person doesn't like know like what's going on, or they're sitting there going off vibes. Like the vibe I'm getting from most people here in Texas, here in other states, all these things is they're happy with their taxpayer dollars being spent at home, not being spent on these programs. They're happy
agree that
with
Texas
the cuts.
is happy.
Well, listen, they're happy with their cuts. They're happy USAID's gone. They're asking questions. There's a reason why the Dems have an 8% approval rating, and y'all are going, oh, well, the Republicans aren't happy.
Yeah, no one's happy with the Dems.
I'm actually happy.
I don't lie to you and say that they are,
Sure,
though.
Ollie, but I'm actually happy that you're sitting here doing this right now and saying, oh, all these people don't like it, because this is going to keep y'all from winning any more elections, because y'all are sitting here going, oh, wow, all the Republicans don't like what's happy, and then they're pushing laws to continue the policies
Actually,
that we're doing.
I'm
Like, it's
not for nothing.
crazy.
I don't know who your guys is. I don't know who your guys is next. And this isn't the topic that Prime wanted to talk about. But I don't think you guys have like a future election either. So like I think that's something we're all
we
worried about.
got a lot of big
after these
people
3
coming
years, who's anyone electing?
I mean, Abbott's a big runner. I mean, there's other people that are big people.
Who?
Like, I mean,
It's going to be JD Vance.
I mean, Vance is an option. Abbott's an option. I think Abbott might even have the
Vance
culture
would
war
actually
ahead of
be
him.
worse than Trump, I think.
It's not going to be JD
But
Vance. I mean, JD Vance is.
I
I
just gonna
think
be
JD Vance.
Republicans are going to keep
He has no
Virginia
charisma.
got no
year.
charisma. He appeals to
I
mid-age-
disagree with that. He
mid-age
was
white guys like you, exactly right.
everybody
he-
said that, and then he killed it at the VP debate, and he came across very charismatic, especially to women.
No, he didn't. He never came across.
No, what are you talking about?
he
I
did.
I think Vance loses the culture war
he-
battle to somebody like Abbott, who's like, I fought the culture war from day one, like, and like I fought the
you?
border war before
Abbott
he would have.
has.
I just think there's like multiple good party people that.
Yeah,
could
I
be
just-
the
You
Right.
president.
guys don't.
Black
You
was
guys
fucking
both
crazy.
don't. You guys
I don't
can't
know
even
what
agree. So
what,
yeah.
what did Doobie say? Sorry, go Doobie.
Yeah, I said Lactoid's crazy. Like I don't know where the fuck he's getting this from. But imagine that Vance won somehow, right? He ran and he won the election. I think he'd actually be
Depends who
much
the Dems
worse
put
than
up.
Trump because he's like a full on like a dark enlightenment nutbag, right? Opposed to democracy, opposed to like explicitly like in this ideology that he has attached himself to. So like I don't know why the fuck Republicans or anybody who cares about the Constitution would vote for Vance.
I mean, I think Republicans got like several good leaders like that are potential. I think this talking point that you just made, Ollie, is a really bad one. Like, I think Abbott's got a chance, Vance has got a chance, Vivek has got a chance.
I'm banking on Matt Gaetz.
I mean,
he'll make a
oh,
run.
I mean, Gates maybe. I don't know.
if
But
Trump can be on the Epstein list and like get
17-year-old
through the
girl, for
fuck
sure.
controversy, like why not Matt Gaetz? You know,
Yeah,
To be
fair
fair,
enough.
though, I think that if the Epstein shit was like coming out during the election season, it would have been tough for Trump. I don't know. If he
It
would've
should still be tough, but you guys don't make it tough, which is
yeah, Republicans don't care
the-
that much about
which is
Republicans have
indicative
been
of like your guys'
pretty-
principles.
No,
Republicans are the ones
Republicans have been
crucified.
very
Y'all
much shitting
didn't
on
care
Trump
about the
this
Epstein thing.
shit.
The Republicans are the only ones that care about the Epstein thing.
Well, hold on, Gibbs, you care?
I don't, but like other Republicans
Which,
do.
as we're
You
finding out.
don't? Okay.
Gibbs, come
Yeah,
on.
I
I care a lot.
I
Okay?
know you
care a
do,
lot.
but
This is bullshit.
okay, I hosted a conservatives panel where we
Lactoid.
argued
Hold
over
on,
this shit.
Lactoid.
It's like
Lactoid,
split.
be honest with me.
Lecter, you had that whole
You think
conversation
that
with
Trump
Misfit
wasn't the
Patriot,
Epstein
who's
list,
super
right?
indicative. Who's super indicative of like
I
just like
fought
I guess.
Misfit Patriot on that.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying like when
That
I
guy's
say
a
you guys,
retard.
it's,
Like, why
there's a
would you
lot
talk
of
back?
misfit patriots out there.
Yeah, that
There's
guy's
a
a
lot of
fucking
you
idiot.
guys who don't care.
No,
A lot of
there are
MAGA who
groups-
doesn't care.
No, there are like there
Most
is like
MAGA
a
doesn't care.
small. I don't know if most. Okay, I think it's a group of people that doesn't care. But I think there's a very large group of people that really do care.
Yeah,
Where's
there's
the
a reason
outcry
why-
from the large group of people?
they're everywhere, bro. What are you talking about?
Look at Truth Social. Literally the most pro-Trump social media website. And on his Epstein post, Trump is getting ratioed on his own website in his own comments. Okay, Like the people all the people there are like,
Why hasn't that
all
impacted
And
his
he's saying he
approval
doesn't
ratings
want
with
you guys in the
Republicans?
party anymore.
It has affected his approval
And-
rating.
What's his approval rating with Republicans right now? Isn't it still like 80 or
the-
90%?
Nah, let me look it up. I know for a fact the Epstein approval shit has been like way down.
Yeah, the Epstein
Overall,
specific
for
one,
most of
it
the
is
country,
overall
but
approval
just
is
saying that
fine.
everybody-
Not in the
The other
Republican
Republicans
Party.
don't fuck about
Plus,
this. The
Trump.
big thing.
They would still vote for him.
right, the entire party was like activated by Trump going on and on about Epstein files during his campaign, and now all of a sudden that there's a chance that dear leader is in the files. The entire Republican Party is like,
Oh no, we know he is.
No,
The
no, no,
FBI has
we-
said that they redacted it. That his name was redacted from the files. They've said this, so we know.
Yeah.
And this is recent. Maybe Kay, you missed this. This was like this week they said this, or like
oh
this
really?
over the week.
No, I missed that.
So
Yeah, so
I just don't know like how a Republican who went on and about the Democrats being pedophiles and wanting to trans all the kids or whatever could be okay with Trump's like transparent like bullshit about the Epstein thing. At first, the list doesn't exist, and then well, it does exist, but Obama made it.
Why are you guys talking about it so much? You guys
I
are
just
still talking about this
why are you still
Epstein
talking
thing?
about it so boring. Like, we just talk about that. And now
That
he
was
says,
crazy,
yeah,
bro.
It exists now, but Obama made it and Clinton made it, and they might have put some names in there that shouldn't be in there, like mine.
And
Which
they're
is
ready to
total
get a
fucking
deal
nonsense.
to Maxwell.
And Gibbs,
Nobody cares
Yeah, I think there's a
Ooh.
chance he'll pardon Maxwell. I think there's a good chance he will because he's.
If he pardons Maxwell, you guys are
I think
done
he's
for.
terrified. I think he's terrified that she comes out against him.
Yeah, see, look at Gibbs rolling his eyes because he knows people won't care, right?
Look, Vance never
No,
did it.
that's not
Vance
why I
never
roll
did
my
that
eyes.
shit. Okay, there's no accusation that Vance did that shit.
No,
So
the reason I'm
Vance is going to be.
You know, I don't think Vance is the pedo.
the reason I'm
Well,
rolling.
then, there you go.
Oh, he's just
He's
a
the
fascist.
next candidate.
The reason I'm rolling my eyes,
Is
Ali,
being a
is
fascist is much better than being a pedophile. Yes.
yeah, okay.
Ironically, it is.
Says the guys who are in favor of the deep state, like having a shadow government. All right, cool, bro. Like, yeah, I trust
Deep
your.
states that
Oh yeah,
that is just conspiracy bullshit.
it's not
That is-
conspiracy theory bullshit. Like
you,
we
you
literally
know
established.
that's not real,
Oh,
Gibbs.
Yeah, okay.
That's
All right,
just-
listen.
You're
No.
just grifting.
wait,
buddy. Come
yeah,
on.
we're-
didn't Trump drain the deep state?
Well, I
in
mean,
2016?
it looks like he's
So
trying. I
Epstein,
mean, you
the
know,
deep state,
well-
I'm so confused. Is Epstein not part of the deep
Well,
state? that's
here's the
controlling
thing,
current
all right.
government. Is that not part of the
Not to
shadow
mention,
government?
if the
I want to
deep
respond
state-
to what Alex said here.
If the
though.
deep state is a thing,
What did
and
I say,
Doge
Gibbs?
was made
What
to,
about the whole eyes thing
to
here?
drain the deep state in the swamp, then clearly you're still talking about the deep state and this shadow government bullshit. So clearly Doge failed, right?
No, it's definitely working. It's clearing shit up,
It's
and
still
that's like,
working.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
definitely working.
It's
It's
not
clearing
done.
stuff
Yeah,
out. That's why
I mean,
you're
there's
still
a re-
going on
there's a
about the deep
reason.
state
There's a
and
reason.
shadow-
Yeah, there
It's
absolutely.
hard.
shadow
Yeah, because
government
there's
thing,
still
right?
there's
It's
still
hard, okay?
it's
Why
a
is
it's
the
called
leader, but
it's a
the
war.
head runner of
Oh,
Doge
but
isn't
hold on,
Gumbo.
it's a
Okay,
war.
Gibbs,
Oh,
reply to me
war.
real quick.
Yeah, I do just sort of respond to the eye roll thing. The reason I'm rolling my eyes, right, and this is why what y'all are doing is really laughable to me, right? Like Lactoid is obvious. He voted Republican, right? He's very upset about the Epstein thing. I've talked to him in private about the Epstein thing. I
loser.
hosted a panel with like Rob and some other people, and about half the panel was very, very adamant about the Epstein thing. They were just as adamant about the Epstein thing now, if not more so now, and they're about holding Trump's feet to the fire about it than they were even before the election, where they're like, oh, the evil Dems. They're more mad at Trump now than they were at the Dems for doing this, right? So when you're sitting here, and
Where's the vocal-
hold on.
where's the
When I-
vocalization of
Hold on, Ollie. Now when I go, I didn't vote because of this. I didn't vote because of the Epstein thing. It was like number 50 on my fucking priority list. I had other real world issues I cared about more, right? Yeah, I don't like pedos. Throw him in the wood chipper if he's a pedo. I don't give a shit. But I needed change
Yeah.
here, right?
But
So
the apathy-
hold
but
on.
the apathy towards the ring-
Hold on, Ollie. But my point is this: whenever you're sitting here going, "Oh, Republicans don't care," there is a small segment. I would say I'm in the minority on this, right? Because
Yeah.
massive groups of MAGA are going, "We're pissed. We're holding Trump accountable for
yeah.
that." And then
All-
y'all
all-
are going,
but wait,
but
just-
then
just
y'all are
tweeting that
going,
you're pissed
but then
means
no.
nothing.
But it's not just tweeting. They're actively saying
is.
shit. They're mad, and then y'all are going, "Oh, well, they're not being accountable." When they're the only ones sitting here talking about this, and
Okay.
Dems
All right,
are
cool.
only jumping on the Epstein thing now because they see, oh, some Republicans are actually pissed about this, and y'all are
Yeah.
grifting, trying to get some points because y'all have
I don't
nothing.
care
Y'all
for
have
grip,
nothing
because I don't
else.
care. Dems are
Y'all
All I'm
nothing
saying is-
else.
no. Republicans will go in troves to the fucking school departments and argue against the trans books. And how are we allowing these kids to be trans and reading these books? They're very fucking vocal. They're passing
They've
legislation.
asked for Bondi to be fired.
When it comes to a pedo ring ran in America, oh no, we won't say anything.
Hold on, Republicans are asking for Bondi to be fired. Republicans have called for Bondi to be fired.
If
No,
Epstein
no.
was Pakistani, we couldn't
hold-
get the eyes
but
off of
Ali,
it, right? 'Cause it's-
Republicans-
because
Why the fuck should Bondi be
is
fired?
fucking huge,
Republicans have
right?
call for Bondi to be
Wait a
fired.
minute.
Republicans have
Why?
called for
Why should she
Bongino to
be
be
fired?
fired. Well, because they're
Why
not
should
happy
she
with how
be
the Epstein,
fired?
because they're not happy with how the Epstein thing's being handled. Republicans are leading the charge on
Gibbs,
this.
I think it's
probably
very clear. If you
fire
look at the
their
fucking interviews
leader.
he's given. Trump is the reason that hasn't been released. I think it's very obvious.
I don't disagree with you on that,
the one
Doobie.
that's- Okay, then why the fuck would you fire Bondi for doing what Trump said?
But
The issue is
listen,
Trump.
Doobie. I agree with you on that, right? Cool. So far, we build the bridge. Here's my point that I'm making. The left, overall, and I'm not saying you, Doobie, specifically this, but like the left overall, they are sitting here going, oh, Republicans don't care about this. Look at these evil Republicans sweeping this to the right. When Republicans
doing
are,
anything but
hold
tweeting
on.
about it.
No, they're not. They are doing
then the
something.
other half
Hold
of
on,
you are
Ollie.
rolling your
Hold on,
eyes
Ollie.
and saying this
Hold
is
on.
just- this is fucking nothing.
Republicans are the ones asking for Bongino to be fired. Republicans are the ones asking for Bondi to be fired. They're the ones holding Trump accountable. And then y'all are sitting here going, "Oh, Republicans
That's
aren't
not
doing
holding Trump
shit."
accountable.
Oh my
That's not holding-
God, bro!
hold on,
Asking for
asking for the
major
underlings-
leaders in the
Hold
party
on,
to be
where's the
fired.
accountability
For the
that you guys
underlings
are
to
supposed to be
follow-
having? Where are your principles at, buddy?
Is not holding Trump accountable. I'm sorry, and I think that the issue
Asking
that I
for
have-
leaders to
hold
be
on,
fired.
No, hold on. No, they're the underlings, right? They should be going after Trump specifically. I think it's very clear. Again, if you look at the statements and the contradictory interviews he's given, he is the reason that they have not been released. Not Bondi, not Bongino. It's him. It's very fucking obvious, right? So I think that the issue that I have, right, is I agree with you actually that the Democrats did not want to release Epstein list either, because I'm sure a lot of them are on it, 100%. Like I know that a lot of them are on it, and they don't want that shit out there either. And I'm sure it's got to be pretty fucking bad, because if Trump is on there, and I know he is on there, you would think that they would want to use that ammunition against him during the election. But the fact that they didn't, and where it's so fucking clear and obvious, like that he's on there. Right, and that, and not only that, but fucking Epstein died when he was in office. Like, come on. And now there's a report out that Epstein was terrified that Trump was going to kill him. Like, come on, please. Like, now the fact that they didn't use that against him, right, tells me that they're on there. But the issue now is a lot of this from the Dems, the politicians, that are pushing and bashing Trump over this. I think a lot of it's performative. My issue is that you guys are demonstrating that your outrage was also performative, because now that you guys in office, you're not holding him accountable. You're giving him all these fucking excuses and letting him get away with this.
And Gibbs, I just want to build off of that. So then I'm assuming that what you said earlier about the Democrats and, the unanswered calls of 65,000 children doesn't actually mean anything to you. Since it's hard for me to reconcile that. If you care about children and you're going to make that issue of that, how is the Epstein files not an issue for you when that involves children as well?
I'll tell you how it's different to me. One, because the immigration issue and the border patrol issue has affected me directly. Like, I've had friends die because of cartels, right? Like, literally die. I had hold on. Yeah. I have had friends that have children. Their children have been killed by cartels. Like, yeah, I care about this issue. This is a problem. Hold on. I'm trying to answer your question here, right? When I'm sitting here, I'm talking about how I voted, right? I sit here and voted on immigration was number one, economy number two, some of the foreign policies probably three. Like, there's we go down this list, right? When we're talking about the Epstein thing, yeah, they're all fucking pedos, they're bad, it's evil. But when we're sitting here going, oh, Republicans aren't taking accountability, when they're actively calling for major Trump leadership people to be fired, yes, they're the underlings. Yes, I agree that maybe they should be going harder on Trump, maybe, I don't know. But when they're sitting here actively calling for the people that are supposed to be investigated to be fired because they're sitting here going along with what Trump's doing, that is actionable action that they're taking against Trump and showing their displeasure. And y'all are going, they're not doing anything. And the only reason why y'all are grifting this is because it's the first time the Dems have had anything on Trump to actually say something since he's got elected. That's what's happening. It's not that it's about the children. It's that, the children is bad, but y'all didn't give a shit beforehand. Now suddenly it's a thing. Now y'all give a shit. So forgive me if I don't buy your moral outrage.
That doesn't answer my question. Maybe I didn't phrase it, but how you posted an article. The article was Biden admin hotline for migrant children complaining about sponsors left 65,000 calls unanswered.
Yeah,
How does that affect you?
Well, my point is that it's fucking rich that they're sitting here now talking about the Epstein kids whenever they didn't give a fuck about these
Okay, so
migrant kids.
you agree that you don't care about this issue just like you don't care about the Epstein file.
I mean, this is
gossip for
this
him.
is just speaks to my bigger issue, which is that the Democrats are in favor of slavery. This is just kept selling kids into sex slavery as well as having the slavery in the fields. Yeah, the Dems like sex slavery, and the Dems like normal slavery. That's what y'all are advocating for, and like that's why they didn't answer these calls with the kids. Yeah, it's that simple. Like, I mean, y'all can try to like flip it around, but listen, Dems love slavery. They have since the 1860s.
And so does
Everything
Trump.
being Dems and Republicans is like really
My
like
God.
annoying when we're talking about like a specific person with specific policies, but then it becomes the Dems, the Republicans. It's like that's not how anything happens. We're talking about specific people.
I'm talking about
and
specific
individuals, and
policy.
then-
I'm talking about specific policy and action. Y'all are talking about like generalizations. I can point to policy from the 1860s where they're pro-slavery. I can point to policy now, which like just like this little thing where they had the children calls they didn't answer. That's policy now. I mean, I know you don't like that your party's support slavery, Prime. That's okay. I'm sorry. Pick a better party. Come to the Republicans.
Got you. The party of black people.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln.
I'm gonna vote Republican. Yeah. Okay. So, I guess I'll have to try this again either next week or some other week because I specifically want to talk about Trump and the economy. That's what I want to do. I really want to focus that. I want to talk about trade deals. I want to talk about all that
Hey,
stuff.
I talked about it.
I can
and you're-
talk real quick about.
I did too.
Don't bother.
Okay.
We've and you did lecture, and I wanted to actually interact with you. I had stuff I wanted to talk to you about that, but like
He's boring.
it's no point.
Hey, I mentioned the economy opening statement.
You should get non-final for that. He likes the economy. Tom.
Prime guys, the line in the stock market is doing okay. It's not going down, so we're good. Don't worry about
Oh, okay. There you go. Well, that's
it. The almighty line has spoken.
okay.
No, debate over.
So
Okay, it is now.
what?
What do you mean?
Pretty sure no one likes that particular.
I'm pretty sure there's no one
idea.
line for stock market, but I could be mistaken. I'm not an expert. Is there one line?
No,
for stock-
yeah, it's the one line, and I looked at it right now. It's doing just fine. We're all good. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You mean it's flat to the beginning of the presidency, right? Like it hasn't gone up at all since the beginning of the presidency.
I don't know what stocks you're buying. You're just buying the wrong stocks.
Just
What are you looking at? The
Dow.
S&P 500 or are you looking at the Dow Jones?
I'm looking at the Dow. It's at
yeah, like-
44,000. It was at
Yeah, I'm asking
44,000
Lactoid.
at the beginning of the
Lactoid,
presidency.
like maybe Lactoid was looking at his portfolio. It's like, what my portfolio's.
Yeah, my portfolio is doing fine. I don't know. What
I'm doing fine. That's indicative of the entire country doing fine, guys.
That's just the Republican mindset.
Lactoid can afford
Wait,
his
wait, wait,
chips.
wait,
That's
wait.
what all that matters.
What are you guys?
I'm doing
on?
fine, and I don't care about other people, suffering, whether they're my neighbors or halfway across the world.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's up. It's what are you talking about? It's up since Trump took off.
I mean, I've been suffering under Democratic rule for the last like fucking million years that they've been in charge. Like nobody cared then.
Baby, you have a
Oh,
fucking ranch
cool.
to
Oh,
yourself.
cool. Well, now I'm saying poor baby to your bitch ass. Like, I mean, it's that simple. You know how you like the way that dick tastes? Not too good, huh? Well, cry some more about it. Like, Jesus Christ. They're like, oh, the poor baby. This is how you sound. Y'all have sounded like this ever since Trump got off. It's been 3 months of Trump, and all I've heard is weeping and gnashing of teeth. Like, holy shit.
Okay.
3 months.
So
It's like 6 months, whatever. Fuck it. You know what I meant.
Yeah, it just that part didn't work out. We focused on other parts, but I framed the question so it has to be expansive. I didn't think it would end up in Dems like slavery. I didn't think that's how.
Don't forget Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, City
Sydney
Hey,
Sweeney.
we were on the same side on that one, Prom.
We don't have. I don't think we have enough talks about Sydney Sweeney.
Amen.
No,
Right.
you should put it on the ejector from your mind. Not important.
Well, Lactoid, right? We don't spend enough time, right, censoring attractive white women, right? They just been
the goon
thrown
sesh?
out of no, they've been thrown out of society, right? Of common discourse, right? Who like when a beautiful, attractive white woman comes up, all of a sudden we're in hushed tones, like we can't let them hear it, right? Like we can only talk about trans people, he thinks, right? But when a cis white woman, right, who to be attractive shows up, well, then of course society discriminates. They shame, right? They hide her away. We don't like big boobs here anymore, right?
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
Trump is
yeah,
bringing
yeah.
big boobs back.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
you're
More of
right.
an
You're right.
ass guy,
You're
to
right.
be
We-
fair.
in order to be like ultimately pro-masculine here, we just got to give all of our money to like attractive women, the dumb products that they fucking make. Bathwater soap, ridiculous. These OnlyFans, ridiculous. Okay, there's free pornography.
can we
Why are you
talk
paying
about
for
the
it?
18
Why are you paying for it?
Why?
It's
Look
free.
how Lactoid hates
So
capitalism.
He hates
you get
women.
cheaper
Literally,
soap.
someone provides a product, and
Hi.
Lactoid is pro theft. Hold on, Lactoid once again pro theft. He's like,
You're
no, there's
right. You're right.
literally-
Lactoid
Yeah,
is
yeah.
anti
My
people
bad.
making money. Is
Yeah.
what I'm trying to hear. I'm
You're
trying to
right.
hear that you
You're right.
actually
I
don't
have
think
to-
the moral good comes from how much
And
money you
he's
can
like,
make.
he's
I love it. I
he's
love
a
it. I love it.
communist. He wants to see.
No,
he'll see
no,
their
no,
private,
no.
the work,
Tommy,
their private
I
work, make it
oppose
public,
degeneracy
right? That's what you
being
want to do.
espoused
Oh.
by
You
these
should
Lefties.
change your
Wait a
name.
minute.
You should change your name
Lactoid.
from Lactoid TV to Lactoid Public Broadcast.
I want to put it
The
like
great
this.
thing
I know.
about capitalism
That
is
was
that
a great
you can
joke.
pay for
You
whatever
guys
you
missed it.
want.
I'm mad at
The
you.
great thing about liberalism is that you can make fun of people for paying for what they want.
Good point. Actually, a good point, Prime. That was a
Lactoid.
good point. Acknowledge that point. That was
Lactoid.
actually a really good point.
Lactoid. I didn't pay attention. Lactoid. I'm focused on you. Lactoid. It's interesting how you talk. Your supposedly your entire ideology is about stopping theft, right? And then the moment that there's a product that you don't like, right, a legal product that you don't like, steal, he says, right?
Theft is
Like,
actually good.
an
Theft is the moral
individual-
good.
A private entrepreneur, right, put their blood, sweat, tears, and other secretions
Other bodily
into
fluids.
making this product, right? And
Prime.
you are pro. You want to nationalize. You want to nationalize their work product.
Nationalize
for
soap.
all, right? Titties for all. He says,
Prime.
right?
Here, you say this, okay? But by
Free
living
titties
in the
for all.
society, you agree to a certain amount of rules, okay? You don't like it, you can leave our society, right? You can go in the woods where there's, where you can buy all the Sweeney Bass soap you want. Okay?
Why don't you go to the woods?
But we're trying to have a civilized society here. Okay?
Nah, fuck that.
In our
You can go to the
civilized
woods.
society,
You go to the
That's
woods.
civilized
says that
society
you
needs.
don't
Hey,
blow your
Lactoid,
fucking
Lactoid.
paycheck.
Guess what a civilized society needs? It needs taxes.
Nah, I don't know about that, but
I'm
I'll tell you what.
Taxes.
I don't.
Guess what happens when you don't pay taxes? You
I
become
don't-
grease.
I don't want to live in a,
Well, look, I've seen what
civilized
happens
society
when
that doesn't
you pay
like hot
taxes,
bitches.
which
That's
is
the
Sydney
problem.
Sweeney bath soap and Belle Delphine bath water in a can.
Base.
And I don't
Hey,
like
you know
it.
what?
I'm not a fan.
I don't
Base.
particularly care about Sydney Sweeney and her ad and her bath soap bullshit. I don't care about any of that. But you know what? It's fucking capitalism, so it's based. Okay.
Yeah, base,
Yeah.
base lactoid.
But Lactoid wouldn't understand that. He
You're right.
doesn't
Yeah.
get it, right? He wants to nationalize it.
Yeah, I've been lying this
Steal it
whole
all.
time. I'm not actually like all of my principles are actually they're below, right? They're subverted to one ultimate principle, which is this is some degenerate shit, and
Yeah.
it's got to stop.
So
It's gotta stop.
also-
Okay?
Not degenerate. How is motorcycle riding not degenerate?
It's not okay. It's the
You say-
categorical
It's
imperative.
actually like literally
Corey.
one of the more
Yeah, what do you mean
degenerate things.
categorical? But still,
The categorical imperative.
you can't justify buying soap with the categorical imperative?
Correct.
How can you not?
soap.
How does the categorical imperative apply to
It's
motorcycle
not a,
riding?
it's not a justified
You know-
presupposition.
How is it not
What?
justified?
What does that
not the
mean?
justification?
He just likes the bikes, okay?
Hey,
Just let him ride his bikes.
What is more universalizable, buying soap or motorcycle riding?
Whoa. I think motorcycle riding is far more universalizable than fucking buying Sydney Sweeney soap, okay? Specifically bathwater soap.
No. What should be more universalizable?
What
Either
soap?
just buying
What
soap or
Motorcycle
buying-
riding over buying bathwater soap.
Soap.
You're never
So
going to
that-
convince
what
me of this.
exactly-
I see this as a
Exactly,
product.
because
No,
you
but
have
what exactly about-
you have no leg to stand. Again, what's the more?
Look, I would prefer to lose my leg in a motorcycle accident, and I don't have any leg to stand on.
That's
You-
terrible.
Live in a
you-
world where this soap is peddled to impressionable
He's
young
dying
men
on the hill.
who don't know
He
what
is
they're doing.
dying on the hill.
Listen,
Yeah,
He wants to die on this hill.
Gen Z
you
aren't
li-
getting laid. This is a reason.
Yeah, because
and
they're
a symptom of
because
this, okay?
you know
This
why
is-
they're not getting laid. You know why they're not getting laid, Lactoid? Because you're
Because they're too busy buying Sydney Sweeney
no,
soap.
because they're advocating for the stupid shit that you're just saying. Hey, we want a civilized society without titties. No, bitch, I want a real line of cocaine
Without
off
titties.
some titties, bro.
Without
Like,
Without titties.
bro, I want a real line of
Yeah.
cocaine
All
off
right.
of titties and then go
No.
fuck that bitch. What are you
Hey,
talking
Yeah,
about?
Lactoid, this
when
is your
will-
this
hey,
is your party.
Lactoid. When will white attractive women have their time? to
Amen.
shine, right?
Preach.
Trump came into office, and I said, I wasn't happy about it, but I said at least, like, finally, white women can come up from under the rock, right? And then what does Lactoid say? The moment an attractive white woman shows up, get back in the goddamn closet. He says, disgusting,
That's
right?
not what I'm saying. That's not
That's
what I'm
that's
saying.
what you've
He
been
wants
saying
to
the
get. He
entire
wants
time.
I
burgers.
just don't
You know
want them
what?
profiting
He
off
wants
of it, Brian.
burgers
I just don't
everywhere.
want them
That's what he
profiting
wants.
off of it.
As soon, oh, okay,
That's
you
what he
want them
wants.
to be on the
Whose
thumb.
benefit is it for? Is it for my
You
benefit
want
or
to
for
Smocks.
your
He wants all the
benefit?
smocks.
You'll be happy. Hold on.
I want to
hold on.
nationalize the means of reproduction,
He's
and
been
I
saying-
want
he's been
to.
saying-
Oh yeah,
He's
so
been
he wants
saying-
communist. He
he's
wants.
saying
yes.
that he doesn't want look, and you can even see what the words he says. He doesn't want men to buy the soap, meaning he wants the soap to be nationalized, and then he handed it out for free to those young men,
That's just
right?
crazy,
Because you're a fucking socialist.
And we're going to
So-
tax women and have the women pay for my soap, okay? Because that's fair. We're going to have that.
That
happen.
is fair. Okay.
Um,
Any which way.
Why are you
Like,
gay?
One day, like, all right. So once again, another Lactoid therapy session.
Well, look here. How real quick? How degenerate will we have to go before you agree with me? Like, I've heard there is an OnlyFans model, and I don't know the name of this person. I swear to God, you guys are gonna meme on me, but I swear to God, I don't know. Taking no effort to look into this.
Sure,
She
sure.
sells her own excrement, and people will buy it and eat it. At that point, are you like, this is pretty awful? Maybe we should shame the fuck out of these people?
No,
Or just let them die, and then you don't have to worry about it. But like, at least their money's going to a good cause, capitalism.
I'm sure that's illegal.
Gibbs, I have an article I'm
it
sending
might be
into the
illegal.
group chat for you to
might be.
review real quick.
I'm not for anything that's illegal, to be clear, right? Always Prime has never done
Okay,
anything
okay.
illegal.
Normatively,
Why
we all
is
agree
Trump
don't do it
letting El
because it's illegal.
Chapo family
Yeah.
members into the
But
U.S.? What's going on?
Let's say that
I don't know. I'm not
tagged
happy
him.
about it. I'll tell you that.
You can answer.
Let's say that it
What's
was
going on,
legal.
Gibbsy?
Not
I
bad
thought, I,
thing.
thought we, I thought we were kicking out criminals, not bringing them in.
Let's say
Well,
that
it's
it
not
was.
a story it says here.
Let's say that it was legal, okay? Even if it was legal, hey, Lactoid, I'm the actual social libertarian
my
here.
Oh, he's
right?
pleading
And so I
guilty to
meant it when I
crimes.
say that if it's legal, we should allow consenting adults to be
I'm
involved in that.
making this person's car.
Yeah, hold on, because you never believed in any of it. Right, once
Wait
again,
a minute,
now
Brian.
economic
Did
libertarianism, you
you
abandon
hear what
social
you just
libertarianism.
said? You hear what you just said?
What?
If it's legal, then we should allow.
Yeah.
If that's just another way of saying if it's legal, it should be legal.
Yes, exactly. Right?
It's just a circular statement.
And
If we
Lactoid's
don't
a lawyer.
allow it, then
Yeah,
it won't be
Prime.
legal. So
What
you
about
can't
that?
find it.
Lactoid's a lawyer, and he doesn't actually believe in that. He doesn't even believe in the law. You don't believe in economic libertarianism, social libertarians, or the law. If it's legal, it should be legal. No, if it's legal, it should be illegal. It should be banned. And Lactoid's mind, right? I decide within my by fiat. And Lactoid's on mine what we should and shouldn't be allowed to do. This is what I'm saying, right? So, like, don't believe the hype.
All
Don't believe these authoritarians who think they're like anti, like hierarchical, right? Like, bullshit, right? Everything he's ever said has always been a fantasy, always been a lie, right? Don't worry. And he was literally cheerleading fucking terrorists earlier.
Comrade.
Unbelievable. So let's have another conversation, like specifically about the economy later on. I'm gonna write that down because there's lots I wanted to discuss here.
We spoke about the economy, buying soap and exchanging.
You should get
soap.
Non-Fawn for that one. He's a big fan, not a fan of the Trump economy.
I don't know
He'd be
who
good
you're
at
talking about. Godfather?
it. Non-Fawn?
He's an economy guy.
Non-fun.
I don't know who this person is.
He's a news streamer. He's a cool guy. He's actually a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's pretty good
Yeah,
at econ.
He's a lefty.
I can put us in contact, and if
Yeah,
you
I'll
want
do
to
that.
come on, it's fine.
We might need more
Um,
pro-Trump voices though, because Gibbs, like, you're kind of.
I'm the best bro.
You're
Hold your own.
going down quite a bit.
I tried
Oh,
to invite
y'all got me
To be
fired
fair,
up
What I mean by
today.
that
To
is
be
like
fair,
you're the
like,
only
when all
person
of-
that's
all of the
really gonna
pro-Trump
defend
voices
Trump
sound like
on the
Gibbs now.
economy.
Well, you just get you
No.
get
I'm
rid of
saying
it.
Gibbs is like Gibbs is really going to be the only person who's strongly going to defend Trump in the economy. I think.
Oh well, that's wrong. You can get. I can think of some Republicans that are pro the economy.
Grid will.
Okay, well,
Grid will, yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Grid-
I did invite him.
Grid's information sphere is clearly like not reality. I think we've established that. We can't establish. I don't know what we're talking.
Fair enough. But if Gibbs want to recommend others to like including like Republicans who might want to be a part of such a conversation.
Yeah, let me ponder it,
let me
and
know.
I'll get back to you.
Okay, yeah. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, I do need your help. It's the first of the month, guys. And like we only have one gift sub, so consider helping out the channel, guys. This channel doesn't survive without your help. So sub to the channel, gift bits or gift subs. We do need your assistance. You'll get ad free viewing. I have to worry about any interruptions here, unless there's technical interruptions, which is really annoying. Something's wrong with my mic now. I don't know what's going on, or the audio, the stream. So consider supporting the channel if you want to keep this around. We need your help. Consider super chat and stuff like that. I haven't gotten much help. I do need your help. So if you value this, help us out. Subs to the channel, give us good subs. Follow the channel too if you haven't done so yet. That on YouTube. All right. So we'll give a quick outro to all these amazing and move on with our lives. We'll save Lactoid for last. Gibbs, Gibbs, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being the only red blood American besides myself here.
Yeah.
Thank you for believing in women. Gibbs, the real feminist here, right?
I love women.
A woman like who is deciding to start a business, a female entrepreneur starting a business. He actually patronizes her, right? Rather than giving her his money to like male owned and dominated soap companies, Gibbs supports female entrepreneurs.
That's right.
Lacto doesn't know anything about that. He wants to crush them, right? He wants them back in the kitchen. But Gibbs probably may also want them there too.
No, women can't cook. Listen, I don't let women cook. They all cook worse than me. I do all the cooking. But I'll tell you this.
Well, then fair enough.
I'll tell you this problem. What I've done now is I've gone on Amazon and I've ordered Lactoid a recurring monthly order of the soap in perpetuity. So that way we can know that he can clean his balls and support capitalism and true based American red bloodedness. I don't want to live in the society he's proposing where we don't like women. That shit's gay and not in the fun way. That's terrible. Fuck that. I'm so sorry that this is what we're getting proposed for now. If that's what America's looking like, maybe it's time to create a new party because, dear Lord, that sounds terrible.
Once again, Gibbs, right? A true member, right, is also standing up for heterosexuality. Hey, Lactoid, when does heterosexuality get its time to shine, right? When does heterosexuality
get in the spotlight after all these years?
Yeah.
I called the wrong person gay earlier. It's all Lactoid.
The Christian in you is telling you to agree with me. Come on, let's unify on this.
Listen, you can ask God for forgiveness after smashing that woman. All right, you'll be all right. God loves prostitutes. I mean, have you heard the story about Ruth? Have you heard about God telling these people who's going to throw the first stone?
Well, a lot of
prostitutes in the Bible.
But Lactoid's a super against them. It's amazing. Libertarian. What's
I'm sure that's a fair interpretation.
Libertarian, more like gayitarian.
Yeah, got him. Anyway, let's move on to Corey. I also wouldn't want Corey's America, not surprising him being Canadian. But a person who denigrates Sydney Sweeney, right? Clearly not red-blooded, not American, right? Syrup-blooded. But Corey, thanks for being here. Nonetheless, I tolerate you and your terrible opinions.
Good. I actually get that feedback a lot. That I'm just tolerated. But yes, I reiterate: Sydney Sweeney attractive, but highly overrated. I'm with Juby, pretty much probably wouldn't even make my list of whatever top 1,000 of attractive celebrities. But make no mistake, she is attractive. But also maybe as I don't know if I'm just making a prediction, and obviously this probably will never happen since she's a celebrity. But as probably a nice example of the potential hypocrisy of those who are conservative. It's like, yes, they will claim Sydney Sweeney, but then there's still that rhetoric about OnlyFans. I can pretty much guarantee you, if Sydney Sweeney opened an OnlyFans, you'd have pretty much every conservative signing up overnight, and she'd make tens of millions of dollars. Do you contest that claim, Lacto? Obviously, we would probably never know.
You would not have every conservative Corey. Every single one.
Every single conservative.
Even the children.
I know at least one. He doesn't have a
Particular.
okay?
Yeah, look in the mirror.
And they're not on this screen. But anyway,
And again, just as another example of hypocrisy, Lactoid, his motorcycle riding, what is safer? Buying soap, regardless of where it's from, is much safer than riding motorcycle. And Lactoid seems to be concerned with, healthy functioning and what's conducive to a healthy life, and yet he'll go and ride a motorcycle. And again, as another illustrative hypocrisy of Lactoid, Lactoid's all about the children, but look at the mortality rates of motorcycle riders and children and car riders. Lactoid doesn't care about that. As long as Lactoid's, riding happy on a motorcycle, he doesn't care. Just like same thing with Gibbs. At the end of the day, Gibbs will buy the soap because it makes him feel good, and Lactoid will buy the motorcycle because it makes him feel good, regardless of whether it increases the risk of children, regardless of whether it increases the risk to his life. And so Lactoid doesn't care. But yes, this is great, as always. You can find me on Twitch, Corey Campbell 94, Twitter, X, YouTube, Instagram is Corey Campbell, and Substack is Corey Campbell. KO Dave, welcome to the panel. Pleasure to meet you, and credit to you for having the courage to come on, as opposed to most other people that just trash talk in the chat. To actually show your face takes courage, and that's commendable. Doobie, Ali, iCal Rich, Gibbs, Lactoid, always a pleasure. Love you, Pry.
Okay.
Also, I posted a photo of Lactoid's ideal woman in the chats, just so y'all can check it out.
Okay. We'll have to.
I don't want to click on this. This is a weird link.
Oh god. All right. Oh my god. That's surprising. Good work, there, Gibbs. I'm gonna let my friend Doobie go next. But Doobie, you've also. I mean, I don't even know where our friendship goes from here, right? Doobie, I guess, I'm not surprised. I still haven't seen Doobie's wife. Doobie claims that his wife is attractive, but I haven't seen her. So, who knows what he actually thinks is good looking? Who knows? We identified Sydney Sweetie, right? Goddess. And Doobie rejects her. So, what does Doobie think is attractive?
She looks like a frog personified.
Prime.
Actually, that's a good way to describe her. Yeah.
Prime doesn't.
Well,
know.
not in a good way either.
Prime surely doesn't know because he doesn't even baseline for attractiveness, right? Because Prime hasn't seen what his wife looks like, right? He hasn't shared that with supposedly one of his really good friends. I don't know. So it just seems like it's awfully suspicious. That's all I'm saying, right? I'm saying that you're super goddamn suspicious, Doobie. Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Bye.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. And next, Aiko. I have seen Aiko's lady. She is cute, right? He actually has a hottie, right? But so I can respect his opinion. And what did you say? Hold on. Didn't you say Sydney Sweeney was attractive? Correct?
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I think she's
red-blooded American, true one. Yet another Texan too, right? That's how they do it there.
There you go.
So, Aiko, thank you for standing up for heterosexuality. No one does it these days. Aiko, go ahead.
Superior genes by far, yeah.
Superior genes. You can't lie in ads, right? We already know that. So that's just truth. But go ahead. What are your outro?
I don't know if I have an outro. I said a bunch of economic stuff in between all of the other things that we were talking about, and then I'm not sure that there's anything that ran up against what I've already said.
We didn't get to talk about it. I want to do a straight economic talk later on.
Yeah.
Right. Before you go back to school.
Oh, I sent you. I DM'd you a potential suggestion, but I'm not sure that you'll accept it.
I'll have to take a look.
Okay.
But thank you. All right.
Sure.
Next, Ali. Thank you as well for being here, friend. Ali, I have a pretty high opinion of my friend Ali, right? Not so high after this conversation. Holy shit, right? Also, for the record, I've never seen Ali's wife either. Never shared that. I wonder why.
My wife's pretty bad. I can't lie. Listen, Lactoid, I'm glad that you see the degeneracy of America's ultimately leading to its downfall, and hopefully that means that you will join in the ranks of people trying to Islamize this country and save it from the degeneracy. All right,
Sharia law.
inshallah, the adhan will be heard from all four corners of America.
That's why he's growing
And
the
we
beard.
can solve the
No,
problem
I don't
of
like that one
degeneracy.
either.
Ultimately, I know that brother Lactoid sees the light and he's walking towards it. You know, this is the first step. But always, thank you for having me, Prime, and free Palestine. You know, don't forget.
Free Palestine. It's all the only thing that ever matters. Free Palestine. KO Dave, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed your time on this especially chaotic panel. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for accepting my acceptance of Doobie's challenge. It's too bad that we didn't get a chance because it wasn't really the topic to like actually address why it was that I was talking shit in the chat, but you know, maybe some other day, possibly, hopefully.
Okay.
But apart from that, yeah, it's always fun to listen to Gibbs gish galloping about everything and anything. And Aiko, I found what you had to say about the economy, the economy most elucidating.
Joke. Yeah.
Yes, most
Makes
elucidating. So thank you for that. And Lactoid, Corey, and Ali, hello. It's good to meet you. I'm glad I was able to be here.
Last and least,
thanks for
my
coming.
friend Lactoid.
Did you just say and least?
You heard me.
Nice.
He didn't put an emphasis on the absolute least.
Lactoid. I always like interested to hearing Lactoid's opinion on things, right? I
Not
get
anymore.
excited every time he accepts my invite. It happens often, but still, every time I'm at the edge of my seat, right? Because I'm curious, like what his sharp analysis is on the topics of the day, right? Today we've learned that Lactoid is against everything America stands for, literally all of it.
Canadian.
A true Canadian, right? Like, how is Lactoid not a goddamn fifth column in the United States? How is he not here to subvert all the things, right? We like
Christians were right. The Christians were right the whole time. I was wrong. God fucking damn it.
Our American women are safe, right? Because Lactoid surely won't touch them. Don't worry, fathers of America. You don't have to lock them up. All right, they're safe around Lactoid. But Lactoid, nonetheless, despite being awful, you joined in, and I really appreciate you, friend. So glad to have you.
Thank you for having me. And thank you to everyone else here for engaging with me in this wonderful discussion. I think I got my opinions out. I was very forceful about
Unfortunately.
it. And you know, there's a mix of irony and truth. But I do think that the people who are buying, like when Belle Delphine was selling her bathwater, I looked at that very similarly. Of like, this is not representative of the kind of progression that I want young men in this country to be going down. I don't know if you saw it, Prime, but have you and Ali, because it's relevant to both of you, have you seen the new development and how Trump has owned the libs? This is very recent.
Oh, the Israel and funding of states?
Yeah.
What happened?
As in,
I sent a picture of me and the wifey so you can.
If a state is not like supporting Israel, like they're not going to receive funding or federal funding, I believe.
Well, in order to be eligible for disaster relief funding,
right,
you can't be boycotting Israel.
Damn, bro. How does it feel? How does it feel that the guy that you voted for can't keep that country's cock out of his mouth, bro? How does it feel?
Once again, thank you for resubbing.
Fucking
really
deep throating other countries. You guys are disgusting.
I
Is that not a direct violation of the First Amendment?
Guys, before you go too deep on this, right? One Frozen Night, thank you for the resub. Two, yes, I did see that, Lactoid. I did see that. Once again, Trump betrays America first, right? It's
He
Israel
owned the
first all the
libs.
time, right? However,
Big
right? As soon as Trump got caught being the bitch ass he is, right? He retreated. And they actually took that back. So there's another statement, like it was, I don't know, like
I had this up
4
from
hours
today. So this came out
4
just
hours.
like they retracted it
Four,
today.
yeah, I know. Like a few hours after, I have the Reuters article. You can search for it. There's a Reuters article that
Okay.
discusses it. But they have gone back on that policy. They've decided that American tax dollars can be for Americans every so often, right? American tax dollars can actually be used to help Americans in their time of crisis. Aren't they so generous, right? Well, this is one pile of gold that Israel doesn't get a chance at. So I appreciate you, Lactoid. I appreciate all that you bring, even
Because of Trump's
old news.
ironclad commitment to freedom of expression. That's
Okay.
why we got that reversal.
All right. I appreciate you, friend. So let's send you guys out. Hey, here's seeming I'm looking at the thumbnail.
I know.
Seemingly
You're
an
doing this.
attractive woman, right? And because I appreciate attractive women, because I support attractive women, because I think heterosexuality isn't nasty, isn't